or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Two things happen when you get a DUI, a criminal charge, and a civil proceeding against your license. Get an experienced, aggressive attorney who can help you in both areas. Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200.
Often, when I look down at my watch, I'm reminded of one of my very first engagement ring customers at Williams Jewelers. I helped him create a gorgeous diamond engagement ring for his soon-to-be fiancé. So I had it beautifully packaged and ready to go when he came to pick it up. And then he said he wanted to buy a watch for her as well. I thought to myself, how sweet is this guy? But I just had to know, what exactly was the watch for? So listen to this. He said he wanted to give her the watch first, before he got down on one knee, so she could always remember the exact moment in time he proposed. I'm Shayna Williams from Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, and it's for those precious moments in time, the moments that change everything, that I love what we do. And we are here for you.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Colorado shines.
The Sharpest Rides in Inglewood wants to keep you safe and worry-free during these times, which is why they are making car buying easier than ever right from your home. You can pick out your car right from the Sharpest Rides website, get credit approved, financed, and they will literally drive your new car right to your front door. It's that easy. The Sharpest Rides is the #1 internet car dealer in Colorado, and you can shop over 1,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs today at thesharpestrides.com. They have cars under $10,000 and even 2020 models, so get shopping today at thesharpestrides.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Wincia. We have Tom Maggio from Hands On Auto Tech. He's going to run your VIN number and check out that vehicle. And then he also has a comment on auto electric vehicles, and we'll do that in a minute. We're talking about any problems you have. Dexter, here's what we thought we would do. We're waiting for a comment from the management company. He has an eviction on his record. They did indeed evict him, but it wasn't for non-payment. He can still get his Section 8, but he's looking for another place to rent. Now, he doesn't sound like a bad guy, and according to him, he was a victim of wrongful accusation. They accused him of helping the homeless stay in the hallways, and he said he didn't. Mark suggested maybe we do a background check on Dexter, see if he was arrested for anything. Meanwhile, Randy, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. How can we help you, Randy? What's happening?
Well, I sent in an email to Suzanne here earlier in the week, and I'm calling actually for my daughter who lives in Wausau, Wisconsin. Little incident with a FedEx contractor truck, and
what kind of incident?
I sent you the Ring video doorbell. The truck came down the lane. She lives about a quarter mile down a hill, hit the basketball hoop, threw it into the house, damaged the siding and windows, and they cordially.
You sent us video on it?
Yeah, a Ring doorbell video.
Where'd you get that?
From her house. My daughter sent it to me.
Oh, she has it, and it captured it.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to get? You're just trying to get reimbursed, right?
Right. We're just trying to be made whole again.
Of course.
And for some reason, the adjuster, and I sent you the estimate for the invoice to replace the windows, was $6,000. Well, all they want to pay is $3,000, allowing for depreciation. But
wait. You're allowing for depreciation of a window?
They are.
Yeah. That usually doesn't happen with glass. One of the few things that it normally doesn't happen with. But I'm looking.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. They damaged the framework, so the window in its entirety has to be replaced.
I understand that, but still, windows usually don't depreciate because they'll last basically for the life of the house. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying they're nitpicking.
What did the driver do? Did he take off or what?
No, he stayed. I mean, he stayed on scene. and typically the UPS and FedEx people do not come down the drive.
You know what I'd do, Tom? I'd sue that driver.
Did you guys see the video? It's crazy.
I want to see the video.
It's in your inbox.
Just outright sue the driver. I mean, you're talking small claims court.
So what exactly, Randy, where was this?
Tried in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. She's in Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah.
Daughter.
We tried to negotiate with the adjuster. In fact, his name is Sean Hill.
I would sue the driver. I would sue the driver.
Yeah, if they're messing around saying, hey, we're going to depreciate a window, just go sue the driver. Then I bet they step up fast.
Oh, damn. This
video. It just goes, what a pretty property, Tom.
Wait a minute. How much damage could that do on that frame? Is that it? I mean, that can't be that bad. Come on, man. Is that a vinyl window or wood?
I'm not sure.
Well, you can see pictures of it.
Yeah, but I'm kind of, wait a minute. I mean, I'm kind of questioning this now, Mark. I mean, it didn't break anything. What did it put a gouge in it that can't be fixed? Come on. Saying it has to be replaced? Now that I see the video, yeah, it's stupid what the guy did, but tell me what can't be fixed on this window. What pictures, Mark? What pictures are you talking about?
Right before the video, she sent 3 pictures.
Okay. Go ahead, man. I'm listening to you.
And she had the window manufacturer came out, and because that window is no longer in production, they have to build that window.
I get it now.
And they've also...
They think you're putting them together. They think you're Listen, man, I'm just curious. How old is the house?
Oh, I'm going to say 15 years old, 20 years old in there.
I think I would resist. All I'm saying is this, man. I'm not trying to give your daughter a hard time, but I would seriously consider. I don't believe there's anything in the world that can't be cosmetically fixed. Is it a vinyl window? If so, it can be fixed in place. Is it a wood window? If so, it can be fixed in place. The only window that can't be fixed in place, well, even clad windows can be reclad, but what kind of window is it? To say it can't be clean, really, it's not fair, man, to say it can't be fixed. I'm not trying to, minimize the damage. I want to look at maybe I should look. Okay, this looks like, hold on, I see what that is. That gouge, that looks like, oh, come on, Mark. Are you saying that can't be replaced? Are you saying that whole, what are you saying after looking at that? Well, I mean, I'm all for consumers, but come on, man, a screen. Okay, there's a screen. That thing can be bodywork. It can be fixed like new. I need to know what the material's made of. We're not hearing anything. What is this material made of? I don't know. I mean, look, they're going to pay you enough that you can get this done. I don't care who you are. You can fix this. You can fix it. Well, I mean, to tear out that whole window and put in a new one for this, unless it bent the frame and it's not operating properly. Tell me about it. Did it do anything to the frame?
Tom, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm just kind of acting as intermediary.
No, I get it.
I
get it, man. But look, to look at this window and to say that the entire window has to be replaced in its entirety, to me, is an exaggeration. I'm just telling you. There's a gouge in the lower sash, man. That's it. There's a gouge in it. That's the extent of the damage. The screen can be rescreened. That goes without saying.
Oh, yeah.
The only damage I see is a gouge in the lower sash, and that lower sash can be cosmetically fixed and keep the rest of the money. How much are they offering? $3,000. Oh my God! You could get it fixed for a few hundred and keep the rest for site allowance. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, seriously, Look, I can't fight for a brand new window. I can't in good conscience say you got to buy a brand new window. Oh, and by the way, that window's not made. So guess what? She gets a triple pane super heat mirror, super insulated glass unit. What? Where are we going with it? How much was the estimate, Randy? How much? Now, listen, you're talking to someone totally unaffiliated with FedEx and with her, and I'm looking at this like a judge or jury probably would. I'm asking you, what kind of estimate did you get? $6,000?
They estimated the window at $4,155. Installation $1,725.
So like a total of $6,000
for one window. Come on, man. I'm sorry.
Well, it's a double window. You have to replace both. You have to provide 2 wide, and you should have the estimate also in front of you.
I mean, if they had the company came out that did the windows and give them an estimate.
Oh, and Mark, and that company knows they're going to an insurance company. Come on, man. And what I would do is get somebody who can fix it, or that thing can be fixed. I don't care what you say, that thing can be fixed. If it was here, it could be fixed. It could be fixed because we have companies that fix them all the time. They can even fabricate something cheaper than that. You can fabricate that entire piece and replace it for less than $6,000. I'm sorry, man. You know what? You called for feedback. I'm not calling this company and harassing FedEx to replace this window. Now I'm serious, man. I mean, look at it. It's a 15-year-old house. It's got one gash in the bottom sash of the window, okay? The ring video is pretty spectacular, but when it gets right down to it, it's one gash. I mean, come on, man.
Mark,
let's all
put this
fucking
video up.
I would do exactly what they did, though. I'd have whoever put the windows in come out and give me an estimate.
And they did, $6,000, and it's fucking ridiculous. On a 15-year-old fucking window, fuck you. I'm not paying $6,000 for that gash.
Which one of these inputs is the video? Is for
okay. I'm going to tell you something. Are you telling me for less you can't get that repaired for less than $6,000? A fucking body shop.
I don't know what it's made of, man. I don't know what
that's
it
the
is.
big deal. But if it's wood, it's really easy. If it's aluminum, it's really easy. And if it's fucking plastic, it's really easy. Any fucking material is really easy.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Who would you call to fix that?
I would call literally a body. I swear to God.
Just bondo it?
Well, it'll be done, and then keep the rest of the fucking $1,500.
I wonder why they can't replace just that trim piece.
They can. They can.
Oh, no, wait, I see. It's part of the window.
All right, let's talk about an investment that's guaranteed. It's an investment in a life insurance policy. But the purpose is not to buy life insurance. The purpose is really to buy the life insurance to have an excuse to overfund it. The government allows for a tax-free account with a life insurance policy. It's what the government allows. They want to encourage people to have life insurance and savings. This savings grows tax-free. If you follow this strategy, you can pull it out tax-free. It's a great retirement plan. Find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org, 303-779-6600. You owe it to yourself to just...
It's not what I thought it was at first.
I know it's part of that. I know it is.
I thought it was the trim around.
No, it's a sash. It's a sash. Part of the window. 5280 window glass and screen repair market. They repair that all day long. All day long they repair that. I could repair that. You know what? They're trying to. I fucking guarantee you they will replace it. I'll guarantee it.
What about our screen?
No, he sells fucking windows.
All I'm saying is the consumer sees this hit the window. They call up the company that put the windows in and get an estimate.
Right.
I don't think they did anything wrong.
No, they didn't.
Okay. Well, it's like you're chastising the shit out of them.
But sometimes you got to go outside the box to fix something. You don't just go to the most expensive fucking solution.
But no one's
if you
told
dented
them
that window, would you personally dish out $6,000 if you did that? If your kid backed into the hoop And it did that.
I would do what FedEx did. I'd turn it over to my insurance and wash my hands of it. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't try to tell them how to. I'd let the insurance adjuster deal with it, which is exactly what FedEx did. I don't think they're necessarily trying to screw anybody, though.
Okay. Sash Repairs. Apex. Sash Repairs in Wisconsin.
Is that what that's called, the sash?
Yeah. Or frame. Look, they fucking, look, that's exactly, look what they do.
They drill and fix it just like Nick would?
Well, this one is showing them removing it to do it, which would be stupid, but that's not, but I'm looking at different options. This is in Wisconsin. Midwest window repair. Sash replacement. Strips can be used to replace in place, installed with the seal. There's a million places that can fix that sash.
How does that work with that? Does it? So if you have a double or triple pane and if you take or replace a sash, does it break the air seam?
No.
Okay.
The insulated glass unit is separate.
Got it.
And it's got steel or aluminum around it. That's separate.
And then it sits into the frame.
And the frame is surrounded on both sides by 4, they call it frame or sashes, and you can take that thing can be removed, and it can be replaced, or it can be fixed in place. I don't give a fuck what you say. It ain't gonna cost you $6 grand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless they replace it. Then
now, if it was a new home, I would argue, but not a 15. No, sorry, wouldn't do it. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Let's go to Tom Maggio with Hands On Auto Tech and talk about this this car that we ran a fax on for Wincia. But first, I do want to mention, I looked in Wisconsin for sash and window frame repairs, and there's a ton of places. We have a place here. Are they still on the referral list?
Well, they sold. They're owned by a company called TrueView that's on the referral list, yes.
But they would come to your house and fix stuff in place. And there are places that can do it. It is one bottom strip that holds in the insulated glass unit, the IGU. It's truly not rocket science. Now, if this was a brand new home with windows just installed or even 5 years old, a 15-year-old home with one little gash in the bottom sash can be repaired. I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass. It can be repaired. If it's fiberglass, a body shop can do it in place. I mean, you guys, you just have to think out of the box. So it costs $1,000, let's say. All right, they're giving you $3 grand. Let's talk to Tom Maggio, Hands On Auto Tech. Wincia said, I bought a car. It's had nothing but trouble. I need to know if they lied about the mileage. Did they lie about the mileage? That's the first thing we want to know. And then, Tom, we got to continue after the break. Did they lie about the mileage?
No.
They said it was 12,000 miles. 152,000. Hold on. Big news. She may have a way to get her money back. Hold on. I'm Tom Martino.
Ask her again. She said they said 12,000.
Did Lucia send the stuff to us? She was supposed to send her paperwork.
12,000? What year was it? In 03?
13.
Who the fuck drove it 1,000 miles a year? I've never heard of anything like that.
What do you mean? Well, no, I'll tell you what she said.
She didn't say 12,000.
I'll tell you what she'll say.
Holy
I'll tell you what she said. She said 13,900 miles.
Well, she's fucking Looney Tunes.
That's right, she is. She is.
She's Looney Tunes. We need a picture of the deal. It'll show it. Just the front page.
That's what I asked for.
Cool. New body ink disappears in 15 months or less. What the fuck does that mean? So you get
Temporary tattoos.
Why would you want it?
15-month temporary.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because you get it, and then if you still like it in 15 months, you get it done.
Get it redone permanent.
Damn, that's good for kids. That's what kids should do. Or someone in their 20s. You ever seen an old broad that's got one of them tramp stamps and she's now 80?
Yeah, and it's sagging. That tramp stamp is sagging.
It used to be a smiley face, now it's a frown.
A smile is just a frown turned upside down, my friend.
With 100 pounds later.
I gotta replace my old utility truck. I do not like spending money though. I know.
Again, I've learned that I love a truck. I'm not a big truck guy, but after owning one and knowing what you can do and
how convenient it makes things, especially for folks that don't ride with nobody anyway.
Right.
Ain't nobody but the girl getting in the car with me or my partner. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta find me a decent replacement for it. Right now it's that old 1999.
Ryan, you want a piece of cheese, man?
ML320.
Oh, I'm good, man.
1999 ML320. I bought it for $2,000 off of this dude here. Shit, 12.
At least 12
years ago.
Oh wow!
It's got.
He's probably in it right now.
I am in it right now. It's got 260,000 miles on it.
200?
260,000 miles on it.
And a Mercedes, huh?
A Mercedes. It's got a lightweight oil leak.
That old Korean lady that had it, she took care of it, man.
It's got a light oil leak, no air conditioner, but a heater. The door locks don't work, so I just use it like a truck.
Wow.
And that sucker tows trees and everything else I wanted to tow. But I think this is going to be its last winter.
You had asked me about an electrical company. I don't know if you're still looking for one.
Yeah.
It's called Alpha Electrical.
Alpha Electrical.
Yeah.
How you looking at it?
I just got it on my phone. I got tons of electrical guys, but this guy was the most affordable, and he can do it all. I don't know if you got a pen and paper. I don't have any paper with me.
I don't need paper. I got a notepad in here. Create a note. Alpha Electrical. The number is, say the number.
The number is 720. No problem.
720.
934.
934.
2845.
934 2845.
Right.
You got a name?
Mark.
Mark.
Mm-hmm.
720 934.
934 is that what it is?
934 3845.
28.
2845.
Right.
All right, we'll get it right.
720.
All right, 720. Name is Mark. Okay, that ought to work.
That's so sad about Alec Baldwin. I feel bad for him.
Man, I know it's just got him totally
Oh,
jacked
he's
up.
got to be just heartbroken, you know?
He has got to.
Did you hear about that, Rod?
Yeah, I walked in and these guys were talking about it.
Accidentally killed a photography girl on set or something. Or video girl something. It's just like, with a prop gun, it's like, who missed that?
Right.
Was it a real bullet in it and that got missed, or was it a different projectile and it just hit her wrong? But it also hurt someone else.
Yeah, if they're
So
saying,
surely there was a bullet in
if
it.
they're saying it's a bullet,
That's what it was.
somebody else messed up.
Right.
Well,
But how did you hurt two people with one bullet? I'm trying
or
to
maybe
figure
he
that out.
never. Well, you can go through one and hit no one somewhere else.
That's sad.
Mike said he's going to try to get us handled next week to leave.
Mhm.
He explained the deal, though. You have to come in from the floor. This, that, and where Suzanne is all 6 pieces of 3/4 inch, what do you call it, drywall around the entire studio.
Is that for soundproof or something?
It's all it's for. You can't break the integrity of it, period.
Well, the floor's like 6, we're sitting on top of a floor.
Yeah, but when they built this, they built it for a studio, so everything comes
It's
up.
elevated. There's a floor there,
right.
and then we're on an elevated floor.
That's what I was thinking.
There's wire runs and all kinds of
But you
stuff.
can't come in. The only way you could come in from the ceiling is if you were running in the ceiling in here.
Right. He's thinking floor?
It's the only way in. He said hopefully next week he'll have it done. That's all I care about.
Just under from here to there.
One shot, yeah.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. I mean, come on, I put this request in January. Maybe we'll knock it out by December.
Oh.
What?
Now I see. Dave H says, patch me through to leave. I'm ready. AG says, Tom usually drops a message. These guys are just plain insane. I love them for it, though.
Hey, how many containers do you think are on a typical cargo ship? I heard this morning. I was stunned.
Maybe 10,000.
I have that.
25,000 containers.
Dragging
Full bore, railroad containers.
Here's what I guessed on. I said, I don't know.
How many containers on a typical cargo ship? Full blown containers.
100.
25,000. Oh fuck, Mar! I won. Come on. 20.
Yeah. I guess it in.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. And I welcome you. All kinds of stuff going on today. So, whatever's on your mind, call us. We're talking cars on Friday, as we always do. Tom Maggio with Hands On Auto Tech is with us. Also, we have Rod Greer, JFR Cars. They're a broker and a dealer. They can source cars for you. Now, 303-713-TALK. We had Wincy a call. Where is she?
Well, was going to be a while before she had the paperwork, so she was just going to email me when she had it, and then I was going to call her back.
Yeah, we got to get through that story. She's saying the dealer told her there was 12,000 miles.
13,900, I'm sorry.
14,000 miles on a 2013.
Tom, here's what she said. She bought a 2013. The odometer shows 13.9. I said, what does the paperwork say? She said 13.9. I said, really? And she said, yes. She's having nothing but trouble with the car. Now, I think she's unless the dealer's stupid, they would never put down intentionally.
Well, this is a great opportunity for all of your listeners. Because, first of all, if you're going to buy a car, just do a quick Google. A quick Google will tell you that a 2013 Ford Focus has recalls on the transmission. They've been having transmission issues, and they've been recalled. And then you Google a little bit more, and you find out that even after they fix it, it still drives horrible and it still feels broken.
My daughter gave 2 of those back.
Are you saying Ford Focuses are not worth buying, or did they correct the problem?
11 through, I just pulled the Google up myself, and I lost it. But I think it's 11 through 18 or something.
He does make a great point. It's free. Everybody's got a computer. It would have saved this lady all kinds of headaches. Forget about the mileage, but a simple Google search on a car you're buying.
Here's the good news, though. If they misrepresented miles, she can get the deal undone.
Now, do you think a dealer would actually put that a 2013 only has 14,000 miles? They'd have to be crazy. I mean, that's not like fudging a little bit. That's like the average someone drives in 1 year.
You know, it's funny. It's not even that it turned over once, because that would be 113.9. So somebody messed with that odometer. And what do you show as true mileage, Tom?
105,000.
Oh, wait, 105, not 150.
No, 105. Yep.
How did they come up with a reading?
And here it is. Ford has issued a recall for Focuses between 2011 and 2017 and will replace the power shift transmission for free if the owner notifies Ford. What kind of problems is she having with it? Is it transmission related?
I don't think so.
I think it was a check engine light. Now it might not start. I don't remember.
And your other guy called about the electric truck, and I wanted to chime in on that.
Go ahead.
Because Ford, who I just talked bad about, but I love their new Ford electric truck, Tom. If you haven't heard of this.
Are they available?
It's coming out next year, so if you wait a little bit, right? But listen, you hook it up to your house, right?
Yeah.
And if you got the right kit that it comes with, if the power goes out in your house, the truck powers your entire home. They say for up to 3 days.
Come on, really?
I am not kidding. It is the coolest thing. You got to research it.
Now, you can plug it into your home. Do you have to have a special charger?
There's a special box you have to have, just like you would with an automatic generator. Yep. So if the power goes out, it switches over, and it'll power your home. And that's for the top of the line package, which is in the budget that he said of $80K.
Wow. There's going to be a lot of good innovation coming up.
I love that Hummer, Tom. That thing's got 1,000 horsepower. It's got that crab call, or crab walk, 350 miles to a charge, and then that quick charge where you get 100 miles in 10 minutes. I mean, that is a killer vehicle as well.
That sounds exciting, too. I haven't researched that, but I've got to. I like these electrics. I really do. I think it's going to be the new thing, and we're gearing up here at Hands On Auto Tech to be able to service them all.
You know, you have to, or you're going to be left in the dust.
Sure are.
I'm wondering if I'm going to get a new car soon. Should it be electric? I'm wondering, Tom. Do I wait? I mean, of course, I'm 68. What the hell am I waiting for?
Problem is, you can wait forever, man.
Maybe I'll just get an electric wheelchair. I don't know. But
they just showed
helicopter.
Yeah.
They showed a new Chevy, or I think it was a Denali yesterday on a commercial I saw during the Broncos game. And check this out, man. It's full driving mode. Full driving. You can let your hands off the wheels. In fact, the whole commercial is the whole family was doing stuff. And
that's not good to encourage.
Listen to this. The computer would pass cars, too. It does everything. I'm talking like right now, man. That's about as autonomous as it gets. I believe you have to be in the vehicle.
I lost my leg.
And it makes
I lost my leg in a car accident. I don't think I'm going to take my hands off the wheel.
Oh, man, that was the whole commercial was at.
God, I remember that, Tom. How are you doing, by the way?
Doing well, thanks, Tom. Yeah.
How long ago was it, Tom? How long?
Walking.
It's been a year plus.
November 18.
I want to ask you something. Are there any questions out of bounds? Just say yes, and then I won't ask.
No, not at all. But I'll tell you what, man. I wish I could sick you in the hospital because they messed up my surgery. There's 2 screws that stick out on my pelvis, and I am in constant extreme pain because of that.
Well, will they correct it?
No, of course not.
Of course
No,
they will.
wash
Tom,
their hands of it.
Tom, they can't, man. Seriously, that's something you need to talk to us about off the air, man. Seriously. But I wanted to ask something. In November of 2018, you had this devastating accident. You lost your leg. We were all very shocked. What we were more shocked about is your attitude. You were so happy and so positive and so... I mean, you went right back to work. You say, hey, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to learn how to walk on this. I'm not going to let it get me down. And then here's what I said. I said, eventually it's going to catch up to him, and he's going to go through a period of loss or depression maybe.
I think you'd have to.
Did it ever happen, Tom, or did you just stay positive the whole time?
I would say I had a time of mourning, right?
Okay.
When
was that? How far after? Because you didn't do it right afterwards. So how long after did that happen?
It was probably 6 months to 8 months after, but it was also partially caused by that drug gabapentin that the hospital had me on.
Now, gabapentin we're all familiar with. It's for nerve pain. And how many were you taking?
I was taking 2,700 milligrams a day.
They say up to 900 you don't get any kind of symptoms, but 2,700 you had that much nerve pain, I imagine. And how did you keep from sleeping with that much, or did you build up to it?
Well, I'll tell you, the worst part was quitting it.
Now, it's not supposed to be habit forming.
It's horrible. It was the worst thing I had ever quit in my life.
Honest to God, it was. Now, I was told it was not.
Devastating depression, suicidal thoughts. Gabapentin, I think, is a poison.
Oh.
And I recommend that everybody stays away from it. It was awful.
Tom, did you get phantom nerve pain? I mean, do you still feel, does your body still think your leg's there?
I have phantom nerve pain, but I also have 2 screws are sticking a half an inch out of my pelvis and cutting into my meat.
God almighty. You got to get that work done.
On a knife.
Well, don't you have to get it work done?
It's a scary surgery. They want to go in through the side of the leg and not back, by the bum, because they say you go by the bum and you can get infected.
Well, maybe you ought to do it.
Yeah, it's also a $300,000 surgery.
Yeah, but if they caused it, shouldn't they correct it?
You would think so. I did a lot of research. There's a cap on medical malpractice in Colorado, and there's also a 6-month, the statute of limitations. And not a single lawyer that I talked to wanted to take the case, even though I've got proof of doctored X-rays that they hid it from me for 6 months.
Well, then it's from the time of discovery, Tom. That statute of limitations goes from time of discovery.
I'll send everything to Susan. And we
should have them.
When did you discover it?
I discovered it 6 months and a day after they did the surgery.
Well, then it goes. No, man. What I'm saying is you get 6 months from discovery. That's when the statute starts tolling.
I couldn't find a lawyer to take it. I called 8 different lawyers, and they all said that because Colorado caps medical malpractice at $300,000, it's not even worth looking at your case, which is crazy because the surgery, the time in the hospital was $700,000. How can they cap medical malpractice at 40% of the cost of your bill? I don't understand that. But that's what it is. So I'm still cheery.
Okay.
I'm still going.
All right, listen. I have some ideas, but we won't talk about that now. Hold on a second, because we have, doggone it, he hung up. Did you know what Mike was going to suggest for an SUV, an electric SUV, Suze?
No, but line 3's still there.
Oh, he's there. That's what I meant. Okay, good. There he is. Mike, what is your suggestion?
Well, that guy in the first hour wanted to spend up to $80,000 on an electric SUV. I would forget the Tesla Model X. I mean, compare the interior of that thing to the Jaguar I-Pace electric SUV.
What is it? What is it called? The Jaguar what?
I-Pace, P-A-C-E, electric SUV. Go to Jaguar.
Wow. Can you even get them?
Beautiful looking ride, though.
Well, I love how all these companies have all these cars, and you can't get one of them.
Well, I think
they're all coming out.
They would.
Man, they look cool.
Kona, I think that's the one you can get.
It's tiny.
Yeah, it is tiny, but it's an SUV. But there's not very many SUVs out there. They're coming out next year.
The Pace looks good, Mike. It looks really good.
It does. It's a sweet thing.
But remember, this guy that called up, he's looking for something now.
Yeah. Hold on. We'll come right back with more. We got Tom Maggio with us, Hands On Auto Tech. We have Rod Greer, JFR Cars, all of that right after this.
The Ford Mach E. That's just an ugly car to me.
Investigates the murder cases that never got the big headlines. Someone treats crime victims and their families with the slightest bit of disrespect. I am calling them out. Someone commits murder, I'm going at them full throttle. Listen to Crossing the Line with N. William Phelps on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
The Chevy boat's been catching on fire.
Approval Reverse Mortgage for your reverse loans. Approval Reverse is a lender we know and trust. If you're 62 and older and you have any kind of equity you want to tap, you can tap it tax-free, never pay tax on it, and keep your home forever, and it'll never, ever, ever have a deficiency on it. All you have to do is follow the rules. You pay your taxes and insurance. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. Now, what about your home? You should have a beneficiary's deed if you want to leave it to someone. That'll bypass probate altogether. Or you can have a trust. You can have a simple will with other things. You can have a payable on death certificate for bank accounts. Do you know there are cheap and easy ways to bypass probate? There are more involved ways to protect yourself while you're alive and all of your heirs through their life with trusts. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. He'll answer all of your questions free of charge and then just charge you for what he does for you. 833-ASK-BLAKE. The best at what he does. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too
Well, that's it. There was a movie about that where
financial.
someone killed someone on a movie set with a hot gun, but it was all done on purpose. Someone put the bullet in there so the person would actually be killed. And I can't think of the name of the movie, but that's exactly what happened
That's
here.
the movie plot, yeah.
Minus that, though.
Hopefully minus the intent.
But how does a hot bullet get into a movie prop gun?
Not by
on a
accident.
set?
No, not by accident.
Now, if you look at a fake bullet, is it possible that it could actually shoot part of the bullet out just because of the discharge? I don't think so. Because we hear about it happening more often.
Paper wads come out the end of blanks, dude.
Michael Brown here. You guys know how much I struggle sometimes with sleep, but one of the things that really helps getting a good night's rest is the amazing comfort of my Bowl & Branch signature sheet. And you know how much I love quality goods made with passion for both the process
wouldn't be in the same room.
That's what I mean. It seems really crazy. And it's not like the actor is, bringing his own guns to the set. I mean,
that's important to you and me.
It's a Western set they were doing. A Western movie called Rust.
You know, we have neutral colored sheets and Tamara loves them. They're perfect for both of us. And we're giving them as gifts this year. That's
I guess I didn't actually realize they used real guns.
Sustainability and amazing quality, all at a fair price.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I want you to experience the
Wow.
absolute best
9 bodies
ever
have been
felt by ordering from
recovered in the
bowlandbranch.com.
search
Use my
for
promo code
Gabby
KHOP checkout for 15% off your first
You mean
order.
in that area?
Apparently, yeah.
Branch.
But you know, that just, see, that goes to something that just gets me up, following me down the road.
A to Z,
They
maybe the Mike
called out
Cameron
all the
logo
stops
should
to
represent
find this boy,
unemployed
right?
to employed. Ryan was
But they
out of work
found
when he started
9
business in March. In
other
September, he
people
started his IT
that
career
didn't
working
want to
for
I don't know who
Amazon,
they are.
making more money than he
They
ever
They might have not even known they were missing.
Yeah. I mean, or it didn't make the
You ever think about how many people go missing every day that no one ever notices? Think of all the homeless just downtown. If one of them went missing, you would never think. No one would ever know anything.
Nobody's gonna look on Mark, but if you understand the news and so on and so forth. You can find missing people almost every day.
Yeah.
Don't make the news.
Yeah. Well, that case, though, is so crazy because who hops in a van and cruises around the country before they're going to get married for 3 months? They don't have much money. And then, right after she goes missing, the day before, they're pulled over with police video. That thing had everything about news on it, man. They had video, they had witnesses.
None of that made sense. They should have been separated right there when the police stopped them.
Well, if you read about that, what happened was, well, they did that, but she told him, being the cop, that she hit him. And how the law reads is if the cop doesn't
This
think,
report is sponsored by the Broadmoor.
Jesus Christ, man, someone's in imminent danger, there was some kind of like weird loophole, and they thought there's no way she could beat him up, was the bottom line.
Holidays are a perfect reason to visit the Broadmoor, whether it's the traditional holiday show featuring or one of their spectacular New Year's Eve celebrations. You are sure to make memories that will last a lifetime. Visit Broadmoor.com for more information.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk Sentry RV. It's car day today, so Sentry RV, new and used RVs, they're up at exit 240 and I-25. That's the Longmont turnoff. But when you get off that exit, you go south on Frontage Road, less than a mile. They're right there on the left-hand side. So we're on the east side of I-25, just south of exit 240. Sentry RV, the best prices in the nation on most things. And not only that, very aggressive with trades. They pay great money for trades. SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. Okay, now let's keep going. Tony, you have a question about a 99 GMC Sierra? What's going on with you, man?
Yes, I bought this truck, I say, probably about 2 years ago, and I really hardly use it. And I noticed it needed brakes. So
where did you buy it, Tony? Tony, where did you buy it?
I bought it on the street.
Just from a private,
on a yard sale.
From a private owner.
Yes, sir, a private owner, and it looked like he was taking care of it pretty good, that's what I hear. And
okay.
I noticed the record.
Okay, how long ago did you buy it?
Roughly about, I say, maybe 3 years ago.
Okay. Now, what I want to know is how many miles?
You know what? I don't remember, and I can't see him because my cluster went out. My cluster went out. I can't see it.
Well, they never. Hold on. They never told you when you bought it how many miles were on it. You didn't look.
No. Yes, I did. At first, before it went out, I believe it was. What was it? Wow. Honestly, I don't recall.
Okay. So what problem are you having now?
I installed new brakes roughly about a year ago with a family mechanic. So then like I said, I hardly drive it. So one time I was going 55 miles an hour on I-25 north, and all of a sudden the traffic stopped. So I had to stop myself, and when I slam on the brakes, well, not really slam on the brakes, but I did push the pedal. And I imagine it should have stopped before I hit the car.
So you're saying even though you replaced the brakes last year with brand new brakes, they need them again?
No, you don't need brakes. Apparently the brakes are good. It's just that the truck, all of a sudden, it don't stop all the way when it's supposed to, and then it finally stops. So I've been pretty close to hit a car that was in front of me because I thought it wasn't going to stop.
Okay, so what is the problem? You said the brakes are good. I don't get it. How can the brakes be good, but the car doesn't stop?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Well, then the brakes... Tony, hold on. Yes. You're telling me two things. Number one, the car won't stop. Number two, the brakes are fine. So one of those statements is not true.
It stops. For example, if I drive it right now, it'll stop like if there's nothing wrong, but it has happened twice.
All right, Tony, it doesn't happen all the time?
No, it don't happen all the time.
Okay, when you say
I
the
know it
brakes are
hasn't, might not be
fine,
known.
when you say the brakes are fine, what you really mean is the brake pads are fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This brake, the drum brakes, everything's new.
I get it. What you're losing is pressure, okay? Hold on. Tom Maggio, on a 99 GMC Sierra in a private sale, when you had the brakes done, Tony, what did they do? Did they resurface the rotors?
No, brand new.
What do you mean brand new? Okay, did you get a brand new master cylinder?
No, not that.
Okay,
not that.
then what did you get brand new, man? Just you
He's saying
speak in
pads
these
and rotors, it
generalities.
sounds
Tony,
like.
hold on. What exactly did you get done 1 year ago?
The brakes, all four brakes.
Okay, hold on. Tony, when you say brakes, there are many, many components to brakes. We know you got the brake pads. Did they resurface the rotors or replace the drums?
The drums were replaced.
Okay. Did you do anything with the master cylinder?
Nothing at all. Not the master cylinder.
Okay.
Apparently,
all right.
apparently
So then everything was not new, okay? The brake lines, were they replaced?
No, sir.
Okay. Tom Maggio, he had the brakes, pads, and he said drums redone last year. Now he gets intermittent pressure.
And you called it already. You're mentioning the master cylinder, right?
Yeah.
Chevys are phenomenally known for having that particular year, make, and model is really known for having a mushy brake pedal, you know. And starting off with bleeding them out would be the first thing. Checking and possibly replacing the master cylinder would certainly be another. And Tom, it sounds like he went to a store, bought his own pads and rotors, and had a family buddy put them on. So he may want to have a real shop kind of double check that work too.
Okay, so Tony, it sounds like you need to either bleed the system and charge it or get a new master cylinder or rebuild the master cylinder.
You know, I took it to two different places. I took it to a Brake Plus, and they did not find nothing. They did a diagnostic on it, and they didn't find nothing. I took it to Pet Boys, and Pet Boys had it all day. I left it there in the morning. They had it all day. They called me about maybe 1 p.m. and told me it was ready, and they said that they did not find anything. They took it for a cruise to try to see if they would do the same thing that I told them it was doing with me.
Yeah.
And they did not find nothing. So they said,
Tony, how often does it happen? If you drive it 10 times, how many times will it happen out of that 10 times?
Wow. I can't tell you. I just know that it has happened twice.
Okay.
One to me and one to my son, and I say roughly maybe about 4 months apart.
Tom, 4 months apart. That's, God, I mean, if it was a bad master cylinder, wouldn't it screw up more often?
Potentially, but you can have an intermittent issue like that, and those are the most difficult to figure out. You know, I would suggest taking it to some place that it's kind of like going to McDonald's for nutritional advice. The places he picked, you know.
So what you're saying is take it to a high. He's saying take it to a skilled mechanic.
Well,
and where are you?
Manny, Mo, and Jack aren't skilled.
Hold on, Tony. Where are you located? Tony, where are you located, Tony?
Right here in Denver.
Okay. We can find some places for you to go to get a good analysis
It could be something else.
I already called Autotech, and they said they would have to drive it in order to have it do the same, and I told them it might do it, it might not. I was hoping but they say if they can't.
Who did you call?
If it won't happen,
Autotech.
Who's Autotech?
I've heard of them. I think they're over on a...
How about calling someone on our referral list?
Hey, Tom, is it possible that it could be a loose nut behind the wheel?
No.
No. I know that these Chevys tend to have these issues.
No, seriously, Tony.
It's not uncommon.
Tony,
anybody that knows their stuff will realize that there's something there.
Tony, what part of Denver are you in?
I'm on Pedro and Evans.
Okay, you know what? I would do Sheridan Autotech. Sheridan Autotech is right there. Let me give you that.
Know. He'll be familiar. Yep.
Yep. Kevin will take care of you. Sheridan Auto Tech is, let me see that one.
303-455-7242, Tom.
Yes, thank you. But here's where it is. In Colfax, just on Colfax, just west of Wadsworth. Colfax, just west of Wadsworth, 303-455-7242.
This is Denver. All right, spots in about a minute. Tino now.
Spots in about a minute.
6:30 KHOW.
Mark 888. Is that the only one?
Well, no, I got one.
Now, impact traffic. From the DuckDuckGo Traffic Center. This report is sponsored by DEA Takeback Day, October 23rd. DEATakeback.com.
A crash on I-25 now northbound at 6th Avenue. It's off to the shoulder, but still slowing with Curiosity back to Alameda or so watch for that. If you're on I-70, a bit of a slowdown now through the construction zone east of I-25. It is slow and go stop and go from I-25 out to about Steele or so. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, mostly sunny and dry today, a high of 73. Tonight's low 37, and then mostly cloudy this weekend. 70 for Saturday and 65 expected for Sunday's high. Currently, it's 66. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, October 23rd. Find a collection site near you at .com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Become the banker. A guaranteed investment, guaranteed, and it's tax-free. Officially, it's called tax-deferred, but they show you how to make it tax-free. It is a strategy more than a product. It's an account that you save money in tax-free. Guaranteed 4%, a 1% dividend. The best part, you can borrow from it through your life and then ultimately use it in retirement. BecomeTheBanker.org for more information. 303-779-6600.
You know, if your furnace or air conditioner breaks and you just want a price on getting it fixed, you don't want to be strong-armed or try to be talked into a new system, I want you to write this number down or remember it. It's easy, 888-HEATING. These guys will always give you the option to fix what you have. Even if it's 10, 15 years old, they're going to say, okay, it needs an igniter, it needs this, it needs that. And they'll give you a great, honest price to fix it. And if you do need a new system, my goodness, these guys knock the pants off of the competition. 888heating.com is their website, and 888-HEATING is their phone number.
Do roller coaster stock markets
make you nervous? With such frequent ups and downs, don't let market volatility derail your retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 630 KHOW. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com. Hey, Colorado friend, are your missing or failing teeth holding you back from the foods you love? At ClearChoice, we understand. Your teeth are an important part of how you look and feel, and it's easier to enjoy all of the great food and fun Colorado is famous for.
Now, why would someone email a radio show without leaving a phone number?
Happens all the time.
It's fucking stupid.
I want you to email them back.
They don't want to be called.
And I did. I put you, I need your phone number.
He's got it.
Oh, man, that x-ray is unbelievable.
Where? Oh, man, that's a dude.
Yeah, well, this one's nothing. Look at this other one. Remember he said he's got 2 screws?
That stick out.
Or stick in, no matter what, depending on how you look at it.
Well, he said they're grabbing them in his meat or sticking them out.
Exactly.
So are they going inside or are they sticking out? Oh,
Going
come on.
through the bone into the meat.
Oh, that's gotta hurt every
It's
time
like
you
from
move.
the inside out.
That's gotta hurt every time you move.
He said if he sits around all week, And it feels like a knife is stabbing everything inside.
Yeah, that's gotta be, it looks like a knife is
They
stabbed.
need to be like,
Snipped up, yeah.
Poor guy. So sad when that happened.
And what they did, they used screws on the door and, tighten them up.
Okay, that was, nothing on the ground right
He's got two cute little girls.
Okay, will it be on the ground or is it a car accident?
Like on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. Like it's coming up on what, 3 years now? Tommy, I had a guy who's getting his first tattoo and was told to take CBD. He wanted to ask, so I got Jamie Baumgartner in queue for that.
We are. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Just wanted to know. Appreciate it.
I did.
I explained to him,
I just want to cough and sneeze all over.
When he was there, when she came in,
No, Mark never told me that.
our door was closed, but
Fuck her.
what? The
Remember, we're on.
Oh, well, no one knows what we're talking about.
You want to
Anyway,
see mask? She's also a mask Nazi.
yeah.
Oh, you talking about F-bombs dropping out there?
Oh, on her back? Well,
Behind
she's
our
always
closed doors.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
Are you documenting it? Are you documenting it?
she's doing
Oh,
no, what were you talking
Oh,
about?
no.
My wife was documenting her products on this fast.
I had crossed 13.
She's just thrilled to death. I'm not having the results she is. I'm not having bad
Make
results.
something
but no.
really tight.
That's because he's eating pizza at night, just not telling you what.
Not selling it.
Enjoy 40 to 60%
The only thing I cheated with, cheese.
Shop one-of-a-kind hand-knotted rugs from the finest weavers in the world and let our design experts guide you through a beautiful collection. Discover rare antique
Well,
rugs
coffee's
to
fine.
contemporary
No,
design
but
and everything in between. You'll find rugs that fit every size, color, and price. Find your perfect rug today. The Rug Trust
Okay,
Show.
technically, I have not had any aspartame, but I put Truvia. They said that was on it. Put Truvia in my coffee. And I didn't have any today, so I put a little sweet oil, but I put like that much. I can't believe that much would ruin all my chemistry.
It won't.
But I'm truly, God almighty, am I truly, I don't think I don't know if I can go to full 30. I might, there's a modified one that,
it's
hold on.
the Tom modified one.
No, it's a real one. You had two choices that you could go. There is one called Shred, which the last 2 weeks you can add some meat, some 0 carbs. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, Chris, what's going on in your life, Chris? What's happening?
Hey, I'm about ready to get my first tattoo at 62 years old.
At 62,
And
it's not a midlife crisis, it's a dumb old fart crisis.
It is. My wife's looking at me like I've gone over the edge, but what the hell?
I got my first one at 40-something, and it was just because I was doing a live shot on TV about the rules changing in Denver, and I had the stupid idea to do it on a live shot, and they kept coming back to me to update it, and I did a microphone on fire. The problem with me, I didn't actually mind it. It's not that big on my upper left arm. The problem with me is my blood chemistry as such, or my chemistry, it fades very quickly, and I can't seem to keep reds red. And he said there are just some people that aren't good candidates for those real vibrant tattoos. So anyway, what are you going to get?
I'm going to get 4 or 5 cat paws and 2 dog paws up my right arm on the outside.
Why is that?
Oh, I'm just animals, the dogs and cats.
Mark's got an ass on his face. No, he doesn't. no, he doesn't. I'm sorry. I thought that was a tattoo, Mark. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Chris, anyway, what is your question about tattoos?
Well, a lot of people are recommending maybe some CBD before I go, just to help a little bit, take the edge off with the pain. It's going to be 3.5 hours.
I will tell you what CBD will definitely do, and I'm just going to tell you in my opinion, based on all of the stuff I've been reading. It's going to help minimize infection. It's going to help with the anxiety for damn sure, and it will help with the pain. Yeah. It will help with, however, I'm not sure if it's enough with the pain. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. It helps me with more chronic pain and muscle pain. I'm going to ask someone.
I wonder how the oil would be rubbing it on afterwards.
Ooh, what a great idea. Or, they also have lotion, Mark. So Dr. Baumgarten, Jamie, he doesn't like being called doctor, one of the few guys that worked his ass off that doesn't want to be called a doctor. But, Jamie, tell me something, sir. What do you think about CBD before the procedure and, and having it done and then afterward? Talk about that.
Well, good morning, Tom. So effectively, I think you hit it right on the head in terms of the anti-inflammatory piece.
Yes.
And the pain piece with respect to ingestible CBD will really help. And the anxiety, nothing's a little scarier than having a needle come at your arm, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to hurt a little bit. But if you take some CBD beforehand, that will help. Afterward, well, and I think the other piece, too, is minimizing the inflammation that the injection of the ink is going to cause.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've explored but we've never really gotten to is can we help you retain that red or blue afterwards? And, we don't know about that. So I would say they're going to talk to you about Aquifer, and actually that's what you would be putting on that to maintain the colors that you're looking for. But I would not recommend putting a CBD salve or lotion on your tattoo freshly afterwards. It would help if you do have an infection. But in terms of color retention, which is really what you're trying to get to, we don't know if CBD is going to help with that or not.
Okay. But how about using something in addition for the pain, or would CBD, you think, cut it?
Well, CBD by itself is about 10 times more powerful than ibuprofen.
Yes.
So if you're looking at an over-the-counter medication,
that's for damn
CBD
sure.
is going to work a lot better, right?
Would you take the chewable fast, or would you take the oil under the tongue, or would you take oil capsules, or not gel caps?
I like the fast product because it hits you very quickly, and if you start to hurt, you can always take another one.
Chris, what I do with that is chew a couple and then let them dissolve under my tongue. Some people only need one. I mean, my wife just needs one to do the trick. I use two just because I'm an overkiller on everything, basically, but I probably don't need to. I don't know. I kind of like the feeling. What's that, Chris?
Tom, this is a gummy product, or
no? The chewable is a chewable tablet, and it's like I'm going to say this word, but don't think it's anything like it. It's chewable like a Rolaids, but it's way better way better tasting. It's chewable like that. It crumbles, and then it's easy to keep that in your mouth a little longer to absorb into your system. They call it a sublingual.
So tabs.
What's that?
Cool. The fast tabs.
Yeah. I love them.
So Tom, what I'd recommend for Chris is, for this application, is I would take fast, and it's okay to take it beforehand, like the day before. It's okay to take it the day of. And if it starts to hurt, or if you start to feel a little bit of anxiety creeping in, it's okay to take another one.
Yeah.
And you can take them, I would say, up to 150 milligrams per day, which is what the Australian government now says is a very safe dose on a daily basis, and you just take as needed. And the effects come on in about 5 minutes, and that should help you get through your life-changing decision about getting your tattoo.
Jamie, without getting too technical or controversial, have there ever been any documented overdosing? I mean, what do they mean 150 milligrams has been proven safe?
No, I mean, nobody. Well, so what they mean by that is that you don't see any adverse effects. Okay? Meaning liver enzymes go up or blood pressure drops or anything like that.
All
okay.
Right.
So there have been studies that have taken a look at the how much you can take, and if you go and you research Epidiolex safety in children who have very hard to treat epilepsy, they're treating those children at 20 milligrams per kilogram per day. So for a fat guy like myself, that's like 2 to 4 grams, which is a big pill.
Yeah.
And they don't see any side effects unless you go higher than that. So 150 milligrams, piece of cake. You won't see any effects. It'll make you feel really calm.
Yeah.
Maybe make you feel a little bit sleepy, but it definitely will take the edge off, like you were saying, Tom, and should give the acute pain relief that Chris is looking for.
Chris, did you pick a place to have it done?
I did. Actually, I've been researching it now for about 3 months, and I found a gal over on Colfax that really specializes in the black, the darker and the lighter, the, solid type printing.
Okay.
She really does a great job. I've followed I've even talked to a couple of people she's worked on.
Okay. Just, I suggest you never go to a tattoo parlor where they take the needles out of a Dawn solution that they're reusing.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Chris, by the way, Chris, Real CBD, thatworks.com. Use my name and get 30% off. Get that shipped to you. RealCBD.thatworks.com. Now, you'll see some choices there, like you don't have to subscribe, but they do have subscription prices that will auto ship, but you can do a one-time purchase, okay, to see that you like it. RealCBD.thatworks.com. Tom and the promo code.
This is unbelievable. Thanks for getting them on this. Good. This Trump stock tied to this stock tied to Trump's is it good? Listen to this, man. It was at $8 yesterday. It hit 140. Right now it's at 101.12. It's going to do nothing but go up. Everybody's betting this is going to be way bigger than anything out there.
A stock?
And he's doing a social media app. I hope people just fucking leave the others.
Oh my God.
But
everybody's betting they are.
But if he starts doing like, I don't want rhinos, I don't want these. If he fucking does the same thing, then he's going to be worse. No, I'm saying they shouldn't do that.
I agree they shouldn't, but my God, Facebook and those guys kind of proved it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, but I would love for him to practice what he preaches. Fix It 24/7 is a company I use at my home. I got an on-demand water heater from them and a furnace. Fix It 24/7. You know what I also do? I get my units checked and cleaned. Now, the first time, $39. They spent like 2 hours. They pulled out the blower motor, put it on the lawn, pulled out other stuff, swabbed it with degreaser, cleaned everything, adjusted the burners, gave me a no breakdown guarantee. $39, a real $39. And I am a real customer. You'll never get that level of service for $39. It's for new customers or people who haven't had it done yet, and they want to show you what they can do. $39 before it gets bitter cold. So even if they do find a problem, you have time to think. FixMyHome.com. That's Fix It 24/7. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
Hi, guys.
Yes. Tom, can we go back to that SUV?
Yes.
Yeah, I studied a little bit about these things. So.
I wonder who. I bet Alec Baldwin. Alec, I'm sorry. I bet he gets sued directly, as well as the movie set. I bet everybody gets sued. We'll see who it sticks.
That's deep. I still don't get that. How do you get a real bullet?
How do you get a hot gun on a movie set?
Yeah, how do you get a hot gun?
Well, I don't know if it was a real bullet.
Yeah, it was. It went right through one person and hit another. That's about as real as it fucking gets.
Or was it a blank that was overcharged?
A blank still has paper wad in it.
It ain't going to go through one person into another.
Yeah.
Refinance your car with me and save money.
Oh, that's unbelievable. I saw that fucking story a few days ago. Can you imagine that?
I'm sorry.
You're on the speed line and some woman's getting raped and no one does anything?
Now, I couldn't fucking watch that. Now, I'd be afraid if it was just me and some big burly guy, but I'm telling you.
You got to do something.
Or use your cell phone or something.
Something.
Now, if there are other riders, I would try to rally, you know.
I think they all, if the speed lines are the way they were when I lived in Jersey, there was cameras on them back then.
And sometimes it takes one first to get involved.
See what Biden said yesterday, too? I didn't see this. If cops refuse to get the vaccination anywhere, they should all be fired. We need cops everywhere right now. Even Lori Lightfoot's begging for cops. I didn't see that one coming.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post.
Why would you subject yourself to being a cop right now?
You wouldn't. That's why there isn't anywhere. I told you, Morrison Police Department's gone in 2 months. Gone. They can't find any police, so they're gonna. The town will pay Arapaho to police it.
It's powerful technology.
Zero. They can't find any cops. None. In Morrison, what do you need? One cop, maybe?
I don't know why you'd be it's the mandate to vaccinate. Is that what got them not wanting to work anymore in Morrison? I can't see a reason why a cop in Morrison wouldn't stay a cop in Morrison.
Probably because they can make more money working at Subway. I mean, my guess is it comes down to economics. I don't think it comes down to a vaccine mandate.
Okay.
Prosecutor disputes the fact that people just watched.
Fever is the leading symptom of.
They should have. County attorney, district attorney, said during a news conference that passengers on the train were not present.
Well, how can passengers on the
may not have
train not
understood
be present?
and may not have understood what they were seeing.
Oh, that's possible.
They get off and on in every stop. That doesn't mean they all sat there watching for 40 minutes.
Okay. So in other words, there's a whole other story to this.
I don't know why she ain't said something then.
Yeah, why isn't she screaming? It'll be an intro. It'll all come out.
Yeah, but you know you'll get really, really lambasted for asking that question in the wrong crowd.
Well, that's true. But really, why isn't she? Oh, I guess she could add a knife to her throat.
Yeah. I mean, that's fear. I can work with fear.
Family tradition.
My assistant, who was an assistant police officer, she was my assistant, and she was also a police officer at the Denver Police. And she just retired early. She said it's just getting ridiculous. No more support. She had been there for 28 years, and she just said,
think about it. People calling you names and all kinds of shit, man. It just ain't worth it.
No. Yo, asshole friend over here in the head, so that they act right, and that way won't nobody be talking bad about you.
Yeah, but that's not where we're at now. Now it's just they're quitting left and right.
You can't.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Catherine, what's going on with you, Catherine? I'm Tom Martino. What's happening?
Well, I moved back here to Colorado in November to be with my high school sweetheart, and he really.
Where did you move from, Catherine?
Oklahoma.
Huh?
Oklahoma.
Okay. And why'd you move back?
My high school sweetheart, he just plucked me out of nowhere and decided to have me come visit, and then asked me to move back here to be with him, and I did.
And now, are you still with him?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, he really did a number on me. He mentally screwed me up for about 6 months, 7 months.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
Yeah.
So what's going on now?
Well, I've been homeless for the last 2 months.
Why? Were you living with him?
Yes, in Brighton.
And he kicked you out, or you left, or what?
Well, but he did actually, and even the sheriff's sergeant and sheriff's deputies know he's full of it. He put a false restraining order on me.
Did he claim you were violent, Catherine?
Yes, he said that I pushed him. But when they came to serve me the restraining order, they looked at him and then looked at me like, there's no way.
Where were you living in Oklahoma?
I was living in Oklahoma City.
Like, did you have relatives, or how were you making your way there?
I made my way there when I was 21. I'm 42 now, and my mom.
I mean, were you living with friends? Did you have your own apartment, a job?
Yeah. What was your situation?
Me and one of my really good friends, we shared a house.
Okay. And did you work?
Yes, I did.
Are you working? How long have you been in Colorado?
Since November of last year.
Okay. How long have you been homeless?
For the last 2 months.
You know, people are dying for employees everywhere.
Well, I actually acquired my own business license since I've been here, and I was going to take off with it as a cleaning business.
Good.
And my ex, which it doesn't make no sense because he's like the big man of a company he works for and has been for the last 8 years. And he expected me to pay, all kinds of bills and buy his cigarettes, buy this, all the food in the house for
No,
me.
here's what I'm asking, Catherine. Right now, forget about him. Right now, there are plenty of jobs for able-bodied people who want to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I have plenty of, I have apps on my phone where I could go and clean houses every day. I just, my vehicle is not going to make it any further.
Okay.
It's pretty bad. The person that sold it to me should have never sold it to me like it is. And
where'd you buy it? Here in Colorado?
Yes, I bought it right off of Colfax in Havana, kind of.
How long ago did you buy it?
October 3rd.
Okay, maybe you need help fixing your car, and you're willing to work, right?
Yes.
All right, you hold on. Catherine, we want to help you, okay? Let's try to get you some help getting this car done. We'll have to analyze the situation coming up.
Hey, if someone pulls a background check on you and there's a restraining order out on you, does that come up?
I think so.
It'd be hard to get a fucking job with a restraining order against you. I'd think twice.
Mark, did he say he was going to run a hardwire?
Yeah, I think we'll have some by next week.
But only to there.
No, he can't run it to there. It comes to here.
Oh, okay, because I heard you saying from there.
You can't get into the studio exterior. You got to come on underneath the floor.
So he's going to come.
It's got 6 pieces of 1-inch shit throughout the entire thing.
So there's no way to go through the ceiling and get here?
No, because you'll break the integrity of how they built the studio. So they simply won't do it.
But the floor is raised about this high.
It's made for it.
Like, when you look at this, it's like 2 feet high, actually.
Yeah, it's made for have everything underneath it, I guess.
They must have existing cable they're not using, Mark.
That I couldn't tell you.
How long has this building been here?
21 years, I believe.
They've used up every bit of it. They've put something on every piece of existing in here, or what's not being used can't be found. We used to suffer that all the time in buildings, putting in phone systems and stuff like that. We go in and we have to pull our own 50 pair or 100 pair because all the building wire was either occupied or rotted out.
Here is also speaking about both infrastructure bills. COVID cases continue to decline across the U.S. The CDC says the 7-day average for daily cases fell to 73,000, about a 15% drop from the previous week. This is ABC.
Oh, shit. I can't wait to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Are you guys going this time again?
Yeah, we're going up.
Go to the new hotel?
Yeah. Couple days, too. You know, we've lived here since '93, and we have probably spent the night maybe a few times up in Central City, but we have never spent 2 days up there, ever.
It's usually one night over.
Except unless we're at the RV, unless we're in our RV.
Don't lose all your money and come back early, okay?
We don't gamble much, man.
Oh, just hang out then, huh?
We got some nice dinners booked, and then they got some live music up there. I might make a sports bet. I like Central City now that I can bet on a football game or so.
Okay.
We might play we might sit at the bar and play that, what do you call it?
Video poker.
The video poker. They'll give you free drinks.
Just for a free beer.
We're these people. We'll put a 20 in there and drink about $30 worth of beer.
You sound like us when we go to Vegas. It's like show after show.
Oh, it's
not right now.
That's why we're not in Vegas this year. It's exactly that, because the mask mandates, and that's what we do there too. Is we love eating, going to breweries, and shows.
Right.
last time we were there, we went to that comedy club. That was pretty good. Was that this year? Yeah, that
Earl
was
Dowding says if this girl is legit, he will help.
cool.
Says what?
Water Pros says if this homeless girl is legit, he'll help her with her car.
Cool. What show did we see this year? We saw the one comedian show. That's about it.
What, in Vegas?
Brad Garrett.
Love Brad Garrett. And it was kind of weird the way they had it, the tables social distanced. It wasn't in his traditional theater.
Is that the only show we saw?
How long ago did you get there?
We were in Vegas in the middle of, this is her and I brought my son there this year too, but when they got rid of the mask mandate. So they had it, they got rid of it, now it's been back for a while. We happened to be there right in that
Wasn't
intro.
it back in April?
It might have been for my birthday, maybe.
I don't know why would I fill in for
We ate at a steakhouse, so, oh my God. She got this tasting menu. Now it was like $200-300, whatever it was.
my meal. It was like, oh.
But it was unbelievable. How many courses?
And he was like,
10
"Ma'am,
courses.
that's really for more than one person." And I'm like, "I'll take it," because he was getting something.
Yeah, I got a big juicy steak.
So
I got a steak in Vegas last year at that place George taught us about, STK.
no, Wolfgang. No, STK is in the Cosmo, the one for my tasting menu.
I forget this one.
I forget. It's like Crave It or Crave or something.
What was the name of that Kobe? I got a $300 steak.
Oh my goodness.
More than we needed to spend.
It was
on this.
crazy, man.
How big was it? I hope it was impressive.
It was huge. But it didn't even matter. You don't bring it, I mean, where am I going to bring it back to the hotel room? And just, I mean, we had no refrigerator or anything. So, the problem was, it was the only one you could get that was Kobe. And I wanted to try Kobe. So it was huge.
Wow. We're supposed to go to Ruth's Steakhouse for the first
Ooh.
time. Right here.
Yeah.
So they'll bring it out.
It's
Listen to
beautiful
this,
there,
man.
Rob.
We love it.
Okay.
It is amazing.
Unlike most steakhouses, Bill, are you going to get steak?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
So whatever steak you get, the plate will be really hot too. So they cook the steak perfectly, but they literally put it on a hot plate.
That sizzles.
That sizzles,
Tell me,
man. It is good.
Paul Dowding said if the homeless girl is legit, he'll help her.
You're
so
gonna like it.
I don't know how
This
you
one
want
down
that
here,
girl on
too,
the
is
air,
really
then I
nice
can run a
building. It's a
background
nice
check, you know what I mean?
It doesn't seem that way from the outside.
It's really nice. We've been there a lot of times.
Yeah. You want to give her the usual
Are they better than
questions of can she even pass a background check?
Right.
The only thing I worry about with
So,
Paul
me personally,
is
in
she
Denver,
says it needs one thing.
my
and it ends up
numero uno
needing
is
6
Del
other
Frisco.
things.
We're gonna then Ruth's Chris, and then probably Shanahan's.
Okay.
That's just my order.
Right.
He probably likes Shannon.
Perry's
Who's your
Steakhouse.
favorite
Mark
steak?
Perry's. Did you say Perry's?
I didn't bring Perry. I don't think
I-
Perry's for steak. I never ordered.
I like
Oh, yeah.
Shanahan's as my favorite, I think, or
Dell's.
I like Dell's, but I like
Have you been to Eddie V's yet?
Eddie V's is
They're pretty good. John Sherman plays piano there.
Oh, who was the one? What's that seafood place you love?
I love John. Did he?
Oceanfront.
Oceanfront.
What? We're friendly on social media. That's it. I haven't talked to him in a long time. No, he and Kim are still married. They look like they're still married. I don't know. I mean, I don't see anything about that. Nice
You're gonna
people.
love that though.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good place.
I think so.
Ruth's Chris. So this woman named Ruth worked for this guy who owned a restaurant somewhere in the 1930s, and he died, and then she bought it, and that's how Ruth's Chris was born. Now I hacked that whole story up, but it's something along those lines.
Okay.
But it was a woman, which back then in 1930s, like unheard of, a woman owning a restaurant, and then now look at it. I mean, they're all across the country.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere where we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. By the way, Harris Family Law is available for those going through a critical time and need help with family law such as divorce, separation, child custody. They try to take the zing out of it by keeping prices low, by doing collaborative law with the other party, meaning they get the other party to agree not to file anything and to talk everything out. 303-515-5000. They also do unbundled services. That means that HarrisFamilyLaw.com, the attorneys there, will handle any part of your divorce. If you just need to get it filed or just need some advice or just need one component worked on, they can do that as well. 303-515-5000, HarrisFamilyLaw.com. Really good people, and I hope you don't need it. But listen, I'm not going to judge you. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000. Catherine's homeless and needs help. She called us, and she says she moved here for a high school sweetheart. Things didn't work out. She's homeless. She says she wants to work, but she needs help getting her car fixed. It all boils down to that. What kind of car do you have, by the way?
I bought a 2004 BMW X5.
2004. How many miles were on it?
There's 190 something.
It's an X5?
Yes.
Huh.
And what's wrong with it?
Well,
they're expensive.
Yeah, well, I found out once I went to go get it tag titled, insured and whatnot, that it had a salvage title, which he didn't tell me that in the beginning.
Well,
and,
hold on. That alone can get you this deal undone. You were never told that had a salvage title?
No.
Well, did he give you the title?
Yes, he gave it to me.
Well, then you knew it was, I mean, how would she not know? It's a marked title. And it's from an individual, not a dealership, Tom.
Was this a private sale?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you could still sue the person. I mean, you really could. Maybe.
But where's the argument when they hand you a title that's literally branded and says salvaged, and you say, I don't know it was salvaged?
Well, the thing is he didn't give me the title until I paid him $2,000. And then after that, what he was going to do was hold the title until I paid him another $1,500. And what happened is it got impounded because there was no tag, title, and insurance. And this was just a few days after I bought it. And the cop was really good about it. I mean, he had to do his job. I'm not mad at him.
What's wrong with it now? What's wrong with it now?
It has, both front CV joints, they are completely shot. From what the estimate says from the grease monkey I went to.
Don't let them diagnose that car. No, I'm serious. So how much? Okay, what did they say it would take to fix it, or did you get an estimate?
Yeah, I got an estimate. The paper says on there that the parts were a piece would be $161 a piece, and then the labor itself would have been $700 and something. Altogether, it would have been $1,200 to fix it.
Okay, listen, we're not sure that's true or not, but here's what we have.
That could also have screwed up the other side of that CV axle, meaning the transaxle or the transmission side.
I think here's what we need to do. If you're willing to take these steps, we're willing to help out.
Oh, I'm willing to do what I can, because like I said, I'm living out of my car right now.
Let me tell you what you need to do, what we need to do. First and foremost, we'd like to do a background check. We do that all the time. Second, what we do is we just want to make sure you're not arrested several times for meth and all of that, and they're working us for, that. Okay. The second thing is we want to get that car to someone we know and trust, closest to you. We will not help you at Grease Monkey. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I don't know who to trust.
Well, we do.
How do we know if we're even going to be able to get parts for it?
Referralist.com, because because they do have parts for 04 X5s.
Yes. I looked up on a
this is not an unusual car. Now, the other thing is we need an estimate. Then, once we get a true estimate of what that car needs, we have a benefactor that has agreed to help under certain circumstances. We want to make sure it's not going to be like $6,000, okay? I don't want to strap the guy, and I'm not going to mention it until we know, and then if he helps, that'll be all the better. So it's going to be, okay, isn't that wonderful? We have wonderful sponsors and wonderful people who want to help people, but they depend on us to do the screening.
Right.
Now, we will, by the way, let you know who it is and do all of that.
Where is she? Where are you?
Does she work? Anything?
Go ahead.
I'm off of Mississippi and Buckley right now.
Okay.
Who's up around there that can look
Sheridan
at it?
Auto Tech.
Sheridan Auto Tech.
Let's get it over to Uncle Kevin.
Yep. And then just for a look to see what it needs. Then, is she working? She can work every single day cleaning houses. She's afraid her car is going to give out. And then she also wants to do other things. No matter what, that's going to be mandatory that you're working. I mean, we're not going to help you fix a car. And then she wants to get a place to live. Listen, once we do the background check, everything else will fall into place. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Rod, you said you wanted to talk about the SUV, electric SUV option. You said you did some research. What did you find?
Okay, so first of all, let me stand correct on the Toyota RAV4. It's actually a RAV4 Prime, and it's a hybrid gas motor, but it's an electric plug-in. So it will run 42 miles on a charge by itself before the engine turns on, but you can actually plug that in.
And it is a hybrid, though.
It's a hybrid.
So how many miles would it get to the gallon?
It will get probably 44, 49 miles to the gallon on a full charge, but 42 miles on a charge.
Right, I get
the
you.
engine kicks in.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only ones that are out there now that I'm seeing is that Ford Mach-E. And it's kind of a weird-looking SUV, but Ford makes one. And it's
aside from the F-150, which is coming out.
Why didn't that guy want a Tesla? I forget.
He just didn't like the looks of it, I believe.
That's like the only thing available really right now, though, right? For an SUV.
They don't have.
There's a Kia Nitro, and it's fully electric as well. I was in a Lyft car, and it was completely electric.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. And that's on the ground now that you could possibly order if they haven't been all sold out. Everything else is pretty much on an order basis.
That Ford is sweet.
Oh, you like the way that looks, huh?
They're calling it a Mustang SUV. They're playing off of the Mustang popularity. It's nice looking. And that's all electric?
That's all electric. All electric.
What are they price point at?
I'm sure about 40 grand, 30, 40 grand.
Yeah.
Easy.
God, they're nice looking. They really are. So technically, you don't need a grill at all with an electric car, do you?
No.
Because you don't need a radiator.
Right. Exactly right. And most of them don't have that. If you noticed all of these cars, they got kind of a cosmetic face on them, but other than that, they don't have any.
Yeah. All right. 303-713-TALK. Kevin's got a comment on salvage titles. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yes, sir. My fiance purchased a car back in 2008. I don't think the laws changed, but it was a salvage title, and we didn't get it at the time because we were paying off their loan, and so there was a bit of a gap between us actually getting the title from the bank, and so we had to sue them because as soon as we brought it up, they said, not our problem. There is a law that you, in the state of Colorado, you have to disclose, and there's a form that you have to have signed off that states that you as the buyer know that that is a salvage title. And you cannot get it processed through the DMV without that form, and that's through private sale.
Okay, that's good. What are the consequences if you do it without that?
We just did it civilly, and so they refunded about 3/4 of the cost of the car, and I just drove it into the ground.
Good.
But we had that as the leverage to get them to negotiate. So I don't know if you would have to take that and present it to a DA, and if there was something, it's been too long and I wouldn't know what that was, but we just used it as the leverage to say, you couldn't have sold this without it. You need to come back to the table and have a chat.
Okay, thank you. 303-713.
She just got out of prison for meth, man. She did? Okay. And you don't go to prison the first time you get busted with meth, unless you're selling it. But
why would you ever buy a BMW with 197,000?
because you're on meth. You're forgetting the whole meth.
I'm telling you, man.
That shit's almost, what's the recidivism rate? I mean, it's like next to zero with meth, right? I mean, it's worse than heroin or any of them.
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. What do I mean for your next ideal home loan? What makes it ideal? First of all, you have the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years after closing, they refinance you free of charge. And then that institutes a new 2-year guarantee. Isn't that wonderful? And then they have a pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. If you're out shopping, it is like a cash deal. All you need is the house. They're ready because the loan's already been funded to you. Then they have the credit optimization, which is unbelievable. They tweak your credit to make sure that you get the best pricing, even though you're already approved. And they have the pick your own term loan. You don't have to go to 15 or 30. You can pick whatever term you want. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. You know, I have very seldom represented a client where I can say, bar none, no one has better prices or better quality. Now, other clients, I say go to them because they're great people, right? And they have great products. But those products are readily available. But with Paul the Waterman at Water Pros, he has the best products at the best prices, bar none. If you're getting a water softener, water purification, or a water fountain at the kitchen, never buy bottled water again. Whatever it is, you'll never find cheaper prices. Most systems under $2,000 fully installed for softening or purification. A water fountain under $1,000 fully installed. 303-862-5554. 303-862-5554. Waterpros.
Paul's supposed to be coming to my house on Monday.
He's so good. Oh my God, you'll love it. What I recommend, a lot of people want purification throughout the whole house. It's not necessary. The softening purifies a lot. I'd get whole house softening under $2,000. And for about $900, I'd put a fountain in the kitchen for drinking. That's what I would do.
Exactly.
So you're spending $3,000. Less than $3,000.
That's exactly what you do when you cook with that water off the top.
So you get 19 plus 9.
Okay.
Would be
But you're doing the reverse. So you're saying a reverse osmosis
for drinking.
For drinking, right?
At the water fountain, you'll never buy bottled water again. Now, that has changed our lives. I've saved so much money in bottled water at home.
You probably could use that. Put a whole house softener in my house when I moved to Colorado, and each successive move, I've been mad because I didn't have it or didn't put one in. But now that that offer is coming around, it's such a righteous rate.
Oh my God, Costco! You would think they would have some great representation. That system is about $5,000 to $6,000.
Ridiculous.
$5,000 to $6,000.
Ridiculous. And I look at it, it looked like the system I had when I got here. I'm real serious.
If you're in the market for flooring, you have to check out simplyfloorsafe.com. Not only do they have the newest
Does he ever mess with that smart water where it's 9.5 charge?
Oh, the alkaline water?
Yeah.
Just who?
Paul.
I don't know. I don't know if he does that. That alkaline charging system, my aunt had one. Just sat on her counter and connected to her faucet and turn it on. She'd make 5-gallon bottles and deliver them around to the family and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, I'll ask him about that. So that'd be great, because I think it purifies the water, doesn't it? Automatic, I think.
I think it's kind of like that. I don't know. It's kind of like that reverse osmosis, but it has to be, you know, because it's got to charge the water and make sure that there's nothing in it to negatively affect the charge.
Only thing I'm worried about, but reverse osmosis might take all the minerals and everything out, so you don't have any water or minerals to charge.
Okay, charge from the software.
Yeah.
From the software.
From the software. So what was your thoughts on the BMW, Tom?
What's that?
What was your thoughts on the BMW?
Oh, I want to do it, but I'm thinking.
The electric is sounding good to you now, huh?
Yeah, but I like that Bammer, and but I might want to retail. I know someone interested in my car, and I was thinking that's the one thing that trying to work that retail and then not have so much cash out. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Suze, we always do background checks, and God, I hate doing it, but I mean, we told Catherine what we were looking for. I don't want to bring her. I don't really want to bring her up and embarrass her, but what did we find? We said we would help if she passed a background and she had a place, took it to one of our places to have it checked out. But listen, and the one thing I mentioned, the one thing was meth. What is it, Mark? What did you find on the background?
Well, it's not that I found. I didn't even run it because a background check's not free, quite frankly. She told Suzanne she just got out of prison for meth. At the end of 19 or 2000.
Oh, so we didn't.
It was.
And I'm looking at her most recent in Colorado, and she's been picked up for possession. So,
okay. I mean,
I don't know.
Catherine, I'm sorry. I mean, there are so many people that we help. I'm not going to let this benefactor's money go for that. I mean...
Well, here, say it how it is. Generally, when you're dealing with meth, so we know
there's a 4% chance you're going to turn it around.
Yeah, so I mean, we're just wasting that person's money.
A 4% chance with
a lot of help.
Rehab. A 4% chance with rehab. Now, if she wanted to subject herself and pay for the urine test once a week for a period of time, and then we do it, but man, we just can't do it. Catherine, and I'm glad that you came clean when you knew we were doing a background check. I wish we could help. I mean...
Well, she didn't tell me about this stuff in July, this past July in Colorado, which is charges of possession of a legal weapon, misdemeanor class 1 drug possession.
Hold on. No one knows your last name, so I'm not trying to embarrass you. And
I don't care if they do, because I'm not ashamed of my past. I did what I did, and I made mistakes, and I'm trying to correct them. The charges that are pending against me right now, I am currently fighting because it's shit.
There's the math.
Good, go ahead. And actually, it would have been better if you were ashamed of your past. But I wish you the very, very best, Catherine. I really, really do.
Did you notice the true colors?
Yeah. So fight everything, Catherine. But you have to acknowledge you have a problem, and your past is deplorable, and you should be ashamed of it. Yep. Yep. So, there's the addict. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Mike, what's going on with you, Mike? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Tom, thanks for everything what you do.
Yeah, man.
I had a gas car, diesel car, and now I'm looking to buy an electric car. How many miles do you think those electric cars get out of those?
What do you mean get out of it? What do you mean?
So like a gas, you probably get 200, 250, diesel, 500, electric.
What are you talking about?
You mean how many miles
like
can...
miles on the engine.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he's saying the life...
Oh, good idea. That's a good thing to ask, actually.
The battery is the life expectancy, right?
Yeah, those motors are almost indestructible.
Toyota has a 10-year, 100,000-mile battery. So you should be fine for at least 10 years on that battery.
But what about Tesla batteries?
I'm
Not sure about toilet.
You know what? That is a really good question. Highest mileage, I'm putting it in. Highest mileage on a Tesla, because they were out the longest.
Well, okay, so a Model S are covered up to 150,000 miles or 8 years.
The batteries?
That's the warranty.
That's pretty damn good, man. That's better than the Toyota.
Well, you nailed it, though. It's because, really, the motor...
A German man is the proud... Listen to this. The German man is a proud owner of a Model S P85. On July 14th, he tweeted 2 images showing his odometer had 559,350 miles. That's pretty cool. I mean, think about that. Another one over 745,000. Now, I don't know how many batteries he put in for that. I don't know. It says, hold on, record. Go ahead, Mark.
This is very curious, man. It says the current batteries in Teslas are designed to last 300 to 500,000 miles. After that point, the battery will likely need to be replaced.
That's pretty damn cool. Wow. Jason, what's going on with you? Jason, welcome.
Hey, Tom, thanks. So listen, I'm a realtor, okay? I had a client buy a place about 6 months ago from a different agent, and she's contacted me because the neighbor below her, who is renting a place, is making her life absolutely impossible.
How?
She's called the cops. Well, she's got kids, and her kids are little, and they're running around and stuff, and apparently there's some noise issues, okay? But the
now hold on, hold on. This client of yours, how long ago did she buy there?
About 6 months ago.
And what is it? A condo building or a townhouse?
Yes, sir. It's a condo, so there is somebody below it.
And what floor is she on? Your client?
She's on the main floor, so there's nobody above her, but there is one person below her.
In a sub-main floor, like a basement?
Yes. Yeah, like a walkout.
Okay, so your client, though, is on the main floor?
Yes.
Okay. And then...
Over the person complaining.
Right.
Correct.
And how is she making your life hell?
So, apparently, she's got video of him cussing her kids out, little kids too, by the way, making some threats, coming outside.
Wait, tossing, hold on. Jason, who was tossing who?
The people below were very upset at his client because they're very loud.
And cursing at the kids.
Cursing at the kids. And I don't think they're unusually loud. It's a nice family. I mean, he's a pastor, right? I mean, I don't think they're having parties. It's a family. It's a young family.
How many kids?
2 kids. So.
How old are the kids? How old are the kids?
4 and 6. 4 and 6, Tom.
4 and 6. I wouldn't want to live below them.
That's a loud age, bro.
It can be, Tom, and I see both sides of it. So,
what kind of floors do they have? Jason, what kind of floors? Huh?
Yeah, carpet.
Really?
Can you hear? Yeah, so here's what we're trying to do. I mean, I will out of my own pocket. It's like 800 square feet that they need to do here, right? I will.
What do they need to do? Do they want to put down? Do they want to put down those heavy noise dampening mats?
I would, guys. I would pay for it.
I can't hear a word he's saying.
You're fading in and out, Jason. Hold on, Jason. Jason, just hang on. We got to establish a better connection, and we need to call Simply Floors Inc. to talk to Buddy Mitchell. Because I have questions on pads for noise dampening.
We had a couple under us when we first moved here, They would get so mad when Suzanne would vacuum. They were over us, so she would vacuum. We didn't get home until 7 at night. They would get mad, complain, do everything. They made our lives miserable because she would vacuum. Okay? She gives birth, and the fucking kid was the most colicky, loudest son of a bitch I've ever met. And then we started bitching at them because they couldn't keep their damn kids shut up. It was a nightmare. At that point, I just started making noise. It just became an all-out war between us.
They didn't like you guys for whatever reason.
Why went out, temp went up. I didn't think it was going to be warm like that.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's going to be November. We're going to be sitting here in 70 degrees.
This fall, Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into, from comedy to movies. Find it all at Audible with audiobooks, exclusive originals, and popular podcasts. Start listening free when you sign up at audible.com.
You know, the folks at Master Rooter do something that's absolutely amazing. They send a plumber, a licensed insured plumber, to your house in the Denver metro area for a free estimate. You can't get any better than that. But wait, I take that back, you can. Not only will they give you a free estimate, they've got the guaranteed lowest prices around when it comes to plumbing needs. And if you ever need a sewer line repair or a water line or anything that's got to do with excavation, they own their own excavation company, including their own equipment. They actually do work for other plumbers when it comes to sewer lines. And if you're a commercial contractor looking to partner with someone that can do water lines, sewer lines, you get the idea. These are your guys. Commercial, residential, the best plumbers, the best service, have been on our referral list for well over 10 years. Master Rooter Plumbing. 720-434-3406. Write it down, 720-434-3406.
Greenberry, green.
These are really nice. These are somewhat cheap. I've got an expensive pair of audio. What are they called?
Audio Technica.
Audio Technica.
I
These are about.
I bought a turntable from them when I was in college.
Probably still works.
I don't know. I don't have it anymore.
$30-40 for this one. The next set up that I wear sometimes. I like these. I like the cheaper ones because they're so light. The next ones up are heavy. The sound might be a little better, but let's face it. We're on AM radio. I can't make his voice or his voice much better. It is what it is.
You guys bring in your own earphones in? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You always have your own equipment. Okay. You never know who's in this. During the weekend, man, there's 100 different weekend shows. You don't want to. You might get ear mites. You don't know what's going on in here.
Oh, so much for me here.
Yeah, those are ours though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Suzanne throws those in her drawer.
Okay.
I don't think there's such thing anymore as
community
headphones. I think iHeart even got rid of that during COVID.
Okay, would make sense.
Well, to a degree, no one was in the studio either. So the relevance of the rule made no sense, you know.
You just don't want no ear COVID.
Remember, from March to January of 21 this year, this studio was empty, man.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And you would think, well, because you guys are still on radio, you guys are just doing it from home.
Yeah. I control in. So we would have a board op here who was Daff because she lives right down the road. And then we'd have our technical board op that was either Ant or Shannon or whoever was doing it. Mm-hmm. So those people were still in the building. There's no way to do it remotely without those people.
I see.
Now, some stations like the FM and AMs I think they can do almost everything remotely. But call-in talk shows, they just, it's not there quite. This studio's not made for it yet. I'm sure iHeart owns ones that are.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it's going to be a great business opportunity for people to buy real estate, commercial buildings, and convert them, though, from what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, if you can.
Imagine?
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's going to be so much property coming up. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. They'll find something to do with it. That's the bottom line. Humans are pretty good at figuring something out.
All I know is in 1989, when I moved here, there was no such damn thing as Lodo. And my supervisor over at AT&T suggested that I buy the top of one of them buildings downtown. And I said to him, what am I going to do with it? He didn't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've been a millionaire plus.
Man, he's bumping on Wall Street.
Yeah, it's so funny that meth came out of fast.
She was holding it down.
She was. It's so funny. She went from.
Once she told Steve,
I'm not ashamed. As soon as they start getting defined like that, that's a fucking lizard brain addict.
Oh, big time. She's probably probably been high in the last 24 hours.
I'm not ashamed.
I think the money's going to post on.
Why didn't we get?
I have no idea
where did the real estate?
The thing is, she's not going to be able to.
Buddy Mitchell.
The intent is to help her get on her feet and have a job and get a place. That's the intent. The chances of that happening with her background are 0.
Well, they're 4%.
No, not with her, because she's still in defiance right now.
You're right. It's 4% with help.
She can operate on that. I mean, that's her.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Let me take a quick comment on that girl with meth. She was just recently, a few months ago, arrested for meth, and she was in prison for meth, and now she's got a car that's broken down and wanted us to help, and we just figured, look, there's a 4% chance you're going to get out of it even with good help and rehabilitation. That's after you acknowledge you have a problem, you're ashamed of what you've done, and you want to turn around. She's still defiant, refusing to think she has it. She says, I'm not ashamed of my past, and I want to do something about my situation. And we'll bet she was high in the last 24 hours. What do you think, Jay?
She got really aggressive really fast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I just wanted to share my personal experience. I was on meth for 6 years, and then my daughter was born, and I realized I didn't want to be that kind of father. I haven't touched it in 18 years.
How did you get off it, though? Was it painful?
No, I just stopped hanging out with the people.
Yeah, but didn't you have a physical addiction?
Maybe for like the first month, but then I started feeling awesome.
Wow. But during that first month, how did you get through it?
Weed.
Okay, weed. Okay. Do you do weed now?
Yeah, I actually live in Colorado. I'm actually in the industry.
Okay. All right. So, but you really do not mess with meth or anything harder than weed?
No, I just smoke weed and cigarettes.
Wasn't it kind of funny, though, how she went from this, I don't know how to explain it, a normal person looking for help to all of a sudden that meth head kicked in instantly. The second you challenged her, bam, meth head comes out.
Oh, I can spot him a mile away just because I had personal experience. But, yeah, she just got super
Well, usually you can tell them because of the eruptions on their skin and their teeth rotting away most of the time. But some people manage to even hide that. Melissa, or I'm sorry.
Metaxia.
Metaxia. Very unusual name. Hi, Metaxia. What's happening?
Oh, hi. Well, I got my... I got my stimulus checks, and I was away for a while, and I was sick, so I put them away, and I forgot I even had them. I found them, and I sat down, and I registered them.
How many?
Unfortunately, the PIN that I used, I forgot what it was. I'm cognitive challenged, meaning it's like the beginning of Alzheimer's. Possibly.
Metaxia,
so
what I need to know is this. What do you mean? How many stimulus checks to begin with are we talking about?
I have 2 of them.
Okay, now, of the 2 checks, you say they were registered. What does that mean?
I mean, I called that 1-800 number, whatever it is, and I put the numbers in of the credit cards, and then they ask you to put in a PIN.
Okay, so the money, you're saying that the cards were preloaded.
Right.
With the 2.
Yeah, there was.
How much?
Usually a lot of people get their stimulus checks directly deposited.
I understand. How much is on your debit card?
One of them is for $1,600. No, I'm sorry, $1,200, and the other one is for $600.
There's a phone number right here I can give you. You're going to have to provide your address, Social Security. They're going to ask you all kinds of questions.
There's a way to recover.
I don't mind at all.
Yep.
Okay.
It's 1-800-240-8100.
Hello?
Yeah, 800-240-8100. That's it. They're going to ask you all kinds of questions.
How long are those checks good for?
I have no idea.
Metaxia,
I don't even know.
Listen, you should have no problem doing this. If you need help, let us know. But do you have that phone number?
Well, let me see. I called the number that was on the paper that they gave me to call and
Metaxia, did you just get the number we gave you?
Okay.
Metaxia,
I will use that. Let me make sure. I'm sorry.
Did you get the number we just gave you?
Yeah, 1-800-240-8100.
No. Was it 240, Mark? Okay, good. Good, you got it. Now, call that, and then Susan's going to give you a number to call us back if you need help. But try that first. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Chuck, what's going on? Chuck?
Can I rant about car repair, rental car, and your favorite insurance companies?
Go ahead. You can rant about it all.
I drove my nice 15-year-old pickup through the parking lot of where I live, and I don't know what I did, blink and ran into the light pole. So I took it in to get repaired, and I took it into AutoNation, and it just seems like it's taken forever. And they keep saying, "Oh, it's State Farm. They're not paying. They're holding things up." And
no, it's not.
Calling the State Farm. What?
Chuck, everybody's behind on body work.
Well, I mean, they've got it. They say, "Oh, we want to do it," but they want to do new part, or they want to do used parts or reconditioned parts, and we can't do that. We've got to get new parts, and I mean, it's been 2 months.
What year is your car, Chuck?
06.
Well, you can do rebuild parts. Rebuild parts aren't going to hurt that car.
No, he's saying the body shop won't do it.
I keep telling her that. It's AutoNation. Oh, they don't fit.
You got to bring it to somewhere else that'll do.
Chuck, you got to get it out of there.
Well, they're close enough to done now that I'm afraid I'm just one. Let me tell you about.
You're just pissed off. I don't blame you. Everyone's been having problems getting parts, by the way, Chuck.
What's the rental car issue?
Well, I got a rental car from Enterprise. The first one I got was bigger than I wanted. I'm a big guy, but I wanted a cheap car. They gave me a second car. The second one they gave me had a low tire. And after a day, I came back and said, "There's a flat tire." "Oh, well, we'll give you a different car." They gave me a Mazda RX-5. Now, I'm 6'5" and 75 years old, and cramming into this little Mazda, I went back, "Oh, well, our system doesn't allow you to change cars twice. You have to keep driving that." So it's just a matter of, it's only $25
But you changed, why couldn't you, I don't understand why you had to change twice.
Well, I changed once to the car that had a flat tire, and then changed again to this little Mazda. And so I wanted to change a third time back into something that I could fit into. And, we can't do that. The computer won't let us do that.
Okay, listen. First of all, I think that's lying about they can't do it. I just think they think you're a pain in the ass.
And that's that's not with State Farm either. That's with the rental car company.
Right. That has nothing to do with State Farm. But
you're right.
I do feel for you, man. It's a pain in the ass when you have a car in a body shop right now, or basically anything. Anything. I mean, this country sucks right now. It really, really does. We're going through some really weird-ass stuff. High gas prices, inflation, crime is at an all-time high. I mean, we are in the crapper. We are.
It's bad, man.
We're in a crapper. And there's no workers.
Jimmy Carter days again, man.
It's
There's
worse.
Be people lined up for gas soon.
It's worse. It's worse. And I hope everyone's happy. But I have a theory on this. This is my theory. To be politically in the right, people will endure more pain than you're ever going to give them credit for. They will endure so much pain not to admit they made a mistake. I guarantee it, Mark.
I agree, more pain. I have no doubt about that. But let me tell you, when your kids can't get on a school bus to go to school, which is happening all over this country, there's no lunches at school, and the poor kids that get the free breakfast in the morning don't even get that anymore, all of a sudden you do start thinking, okay, I've been stretched a little thin. I made a mistake.
Yeah, well, you're still going to hear people say...
And when Joey doesn't get the new toy for Christmas, man...
No matter how bad it gets, there will always be people say, at least it's not Trump. I don't know why, because I don't like him. I don't like Bush. I don't like Biden. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them. I don't like politicians, period.
Yeah, but this one...
But when it comes to policies, I don't know how it gets much worse than it is. And that's just the way it is.
I don't know how you get worse than this.
This is one of those you'll talk about for years.
What's that?
Well, it'd be like listening to my dad talk about, during the Jimmy Carter days, his mortgage was 14%.
I had a 14% loan. Wait, it was 16. I got a 14. I was on like pig and shit.
That had to bring property values down to shit too, because you couldn't afford a house.
I had a 14% loan.
Wow.
In North Carolina.
Man, that's...
And I thought I was a pig.
Well, you can't move. That's the problem. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a 14% loan on a $350,000 house?
Which you can't even find a $350,000
exactly.
house.
That changes the game.
Oh my God, your payment would be. You couldn't qualify. There's no qualification.
Right.
That's what happens, though, when interest rates go that high, then it crashes the value of property. And then who ends up buying up all the property? The banks and the rich people. So all this shit they're doing to help the poor does nothing.
The guy's going for higher taxes.
Genesis Total Exterior, she was here yesterday. Genesis also has a solar division, and it's incredible the way they operate. If you want a Genesis system... and I'll tell you what, if you really want a solar system with a 25-year guarantee from the manufacturer for both components and for production, you'll go to Genesis. Plus, you get the tax credits. You freeze your electric bill, basically. That's what a lot of people are doing. It takes 20 minutes to find out how much savings you'll get, and then they'll guarantee it. So... well, they'll guarantee the production, that is. 303-474-4317. That's GenesisSolarCO.com. 303-474-4317. Now let's talk about Paragon Services. That's P-A-R-A-G-O-N. Paragon Services. He's a public adjuster. I know Matt. I've known him for years. You see, public adjusters we believe in because insurance companies are simply never going to be fair with you. I don't care who they are. When they send an adjuster, it's supposed to be to adjust your claim, but very seldom do they adjust it upward. That's why they call them adjusters. They should call them reducers. What Matt does is seeks to get you a fair settlement, seeks to get you the most money he possibly can for your claim. That's Paragon Services, and that's Matt. You tell him we told you to call. You can find him at referralist.com.
On the True Crime.
Yeah, it's really bad, man. This Christmas really is going to be pretty wild. Can you imagine?
We thought 2020 was a bad year.
Can you imagine if you can't get a fucking turkey for Thanksgiving? Now tell me that wouldn't be fucked up.
Just not shoot me when I'm out in your backyard, man.
And here's something I didn't think about until I saw an ad, or not an ad, but news piece on CNBC yesterday. So the stuff stuck at ports, you think, well, eventually it'll get here, and then you'll sell it. But what I wasn't thinking about is perishables, because it just wasn't ringing in my head. And then I wasn't thinking of dated merchandise. They said, you know how many fake Christmas trees are sitting on these things right now that won't get here till January? What do you do with the Christmas trees you already purchased? I mean, you could, wait a year and you're going to sell them, but it's that kind of shit. Well, you know, after Christmas, Walmart and these places, they're liquidating this shit. You can go buy a fake Christmas tree for $25 after Christmas.
And you said 25,000?
Yeah, that was from this morning on the way in. They said, let me put this in perspective. If you ever driven by a railroad car that's got a container, that's what we're talking about. And they said most ships can hold up to 25,000 of those.
That's amazing, though.
That's a ship.
Yeah.
Imagine if that goes down. That thing's got to be insured. I mean, that's got, what, 100? No, it's got to be more than 100 million. I mean, it all depends on what's in the containers. Right. Oh, here's what they said, too. The average car, meaning a Toyota Honda, something getting shipped over, is 1 ton. Okay? Mm-hmm. This was, oh my God, how many tons was it? It was ridiculous. It was more cars than I even knew would come over on a container. I got to look it up. I don't remember, but it was a mind-blowing number.
Wow. Listen, Fox ratings outdoes CNN, MSNBC combined.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They
lived off Trump, dude.
They have less than one. They have 743,000 households.
There's people that literally play a video game that have 1 million watching them on any given
million have like 10 million.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a ton that have 1 million.
They have more than CNN.
Talking about customer confidence in a show that started out being the #1 news channel in the world.
The first,
yeah. CNN, right? Okay, yeah.
CNN
is kicking their ass.
They were the first. They were ingenious. They said, you know what? Let's do a 24/7 news station. You know, we can go to the cable companies. This is before DirecTV, before all this shit.
This was when Ted Turner went on, and it didn't have an agenda.
No, it was real news. Well, at least, for the most part, it was real news.
It really was.
Or they at least had real news shows, and then slowly they would bring in pundits. But, you would know the real news from the shows.
Like Larry King on CNN.
All over the world.
Boy, he had a good run, didn't he? That son of a bitch. And then when he got up into his 70s, he did those infomercials. He'd sit down. He was still making a fortune. Really, he had a good run, man.
Yeah.
Didn't he do a lot with kids, too? Didn't he open, up a ranch or...
I don't know. I know which one did that.
Imus. The cowboy hat dude.
Imus.
Howard Stern hates him, man. He said Imus was the biggest asshole he ever worked with.
He was very much what?
He said he was just a piece of shit.
He treated people like shit.
Everybody.
Antisocial.
Just a dick. I mean, really, Stern, the stories he tells about Imus was not a good dude.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Time to re-rack. We're going to start another hour. We'll go to 2 o'clock and take your questions, your problems, and your complaints. It was a pretty active hour. To recap, we had some doozies. Now, here's the thing. What about when you have a 2013 Ford Focus you bought? The odometer shows 13,900 miles. But Carfax shows 105,000. Now, what's that all about? I think we need to figure that out. She is supposed to send us her paperwork. Either she misread it or they lied to her, but it was a private owner, right? And I don't know what you do with a private owner. I think
the whole thing.
Wait. That one.
You're
No, that was Premier
BMW.
Motors. Yeah, when Sia was Premier Motors, that wasn't private. Then Dexter rented an apartment. Homeless people broke in and were staying in the hallways. He said he was blamed for that and evicted. He made them evict him, so now he can't get another place.
Like literally sheriff eviction.
Greg was looking for an electric car, or our recommendations for an electric SUV, and has an $80,000 budget. Hey, does the Beamer have any BMW? Do they have any electric SUVs? Is it going to be in the X vein? Right. In the X vein, like X5, X6, X7?
Yeah, I think most of them are trying to push the SUVs or the small sedans because the cars are not as popular.
Don't they own a smart car or Cooper or something too? BMW?
No, the Mercedes does.
Mercedes owns that.
Okay.
Right.
Now, they have the smart car. We have more coming up. I'm Tom Martino. Get your calls in right now. We'll get right to you, I promise. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Stick around. Don't forget referrallist.com for help, information, and referrals. And check out my new magazine you can download at 303consumer.com.
Listen to this, man. Let's put a ship in perspective real quick. So there's over 150 off the coast of just California that can't come in. The average one now, after the year 2000, carries 24,000 containers. That is equivalent to a 44-mile-long freight train where they're double or triple stacked. Think of one of those ships is equal to a 44-mile fucking train, double or triple stacked. And there's 150
How did this backlog happen?
There's no employees to drive the shit, unload the shit.
Where did all the people go?
Fuck if I know, man.
Really, where did they go?
I don't know. That is a damn good question.
Weren't they a part of the people that were staying at home and was work
and just didn't come back?
Yeah, but now they're all home. I mean, now they should be back. They didn't die, I guess is what we're saying.
Right.
They didn't disappear in the middle of the night. I don't know where they went. When I was in Vegas last time, we went to get an Uber somewhere, man. It was like a 20-minute wait to go from like the MGM to a different casino. I was like, where'd all the Uber drivers go? Remember how bad the Uber was last time we were there?
Mm-hmm.
44-mile
I'll be
long
interested
freight
to
train.
see Miles this weekend getting an Uber and how that's all going to work.
Oh, he'll get one after that concert, but
So
it'll
he's-
be nutty.
He's been playing Xbox with the kids since he was 10 or 11 years old from Nashville. And they are meeting for the first time this weekend, going to a few concerts.
They talk multiple times a week.
Oh, yeah. They've been these good friends that I've never met. And
Only
it's
in
coming to
today's
our house.
world.
We're not going to be there.
Isn't that weird?
It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool.
Well,
But
we're gonna
unlike
see
a
two
phone,
concerts
like
at
when we
Red
grew up,
Rocks
you
this
might have,
weekend.
I remember talking to girls on the
At our
phone
house,
and stuff,
the
but,
boys.
you know, they've been at least
I
video
totally trust
face-to-face
What?
since, well, 10, 12 years.
The kid from Nashville's flying in tomorrow. Miles is going to pick him up, and they're going to.
And then, is there only one kid coming in?
Only one kid coming in, but
Where's he in
Miles.
school at? It's a good school.
Nashville, I don't know, but Miles and his buddies here have known this kid digitally for 11 years.
Yeah, video chat on Xbox, just like Bonnie.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So,
And they
where
swore
are you
they.
guys going?
We're going to Blackhawk for the
You have
weekend.
your stuff here.
Yeah. Well, we're not the bus. We're staying in
It's
the
the
hotel.
one we go up there is closed, or else
Where are
I
the
would have.
dogs?
Oh,
Oh, the kids?
yeah. It's Addie's got puppy duty this weekend. She treats
What's the
those
cost
dogs
for
like
a hotel up
little
there?
queen and king they are.
I'll tell you, it wasn't cheap at this place, man. For tonight, remember it's Friday, Saturday. It was $500,
Oh,
$250
a night.
That's what they have a resort fee, and that's everything. But we'll get, if I remember right, they'll give us an $80 card for the restaurant. They reimburse you the resort fee with some kind of credit.
Okay.
I was going to book a massage too for us, but butt kiss nothing.
Really?
They don't have any masseuses.
You're getting a massage in a few weeks anyway. Lucky you.
Listen to this. So for Father's Day, Father's Day, they got me a massage at a place right over here. So about 2 months ago, I finally go to book it. The first available I could get
It was like November 1st or 3rd.
I'm telling you, man, it's not just truckers and stuff. I mean, usually, you go back to, well, pre-COVID, you want a massage, you can find a massage in a day, or maybe 2 days.
Different times.
Where were we?
Good problems to have, though, like, that's...
I know, it is. It does sound silly to go. No, but really, the price of everything is, every time I gas up now, this morning, $3.55 a gallon in King Supers.
Well, I can't understand. We were in, my kids were doing a performance in Arizona for college. And the gas was like $3.15. So I don't understand.
One refinery out there, and it does a lot of diesel and other stuff. So most of the gas that we pump in all our vehicles here either comes up through a pipeline, literally a pipeline, which any gallon that goes through there, whoever did the infrastructure on the pipeline is charging for it, just like water rights and everything else. So my point is, it costs more money to get gas here. That's why Colorado's higher. You go into California, the main reason it's higher is taxes are put onto it at the state level, not just the federal level.
$1 worth?
Easily.
$2, actually.
Well, $7.50 they said this morning in one place. Then Oklahoma, where we're from, you know, I don't know what it is right now, but it's about, Oklahoma and Texas are about the cheapest you're going to get because of the refineries everywhere. It's cheap right there. The commodities made right there.
Well, they're talking about getting rid of that refinery that Colorado has in Commerce City.
They're crazy. That's the only one we got.
I know, but they're talking about it.
Of course they are. I was reading an article, if we could snap our fingers and everybody's car turned to electric, just like right now, we don't even have the infrastructure, the power capabilities, not just in the state, but in the country to charge all the cars. It's not even there. We would take the grid down, literally, just like on a hot day and all the air conditioners are on. We don't even have the infrastructure to charge.
I believe it.
Well, think about that.
It's coming, but it's not coming as quickly as people are saying it. But it's, you know, all of us guys are in my generation that are muscle heads. Our days are over.
Yeah.
Our days are over.
Small block high winders nowadays.
Right.
Small block high winders, packing extra pounds in them little tiny cylinders. No more LTs.
Right. Now the high powered car from Chrysler or Dodge, you know, the Charger, all that stuff is going away. They just got bought out. Yeah.
You mean like the Hellcats and?
Yeah.
It's all going away.
It's going to have to. This new company, I guess, is energy friendly. So
well, for every one of those they build, even under current laws, they got to build X amount of the, you know, the 50 miles to the galloners.
Right. So those days are gone.
That's kind of funny. You know what? You could probably buy one of those brand new now if you could find one for $100. I mean, a true Hellcat, a Hellcat, and then just throw it in a storage thing.
It will be worth
and have your kids sell it after you're long and gone.
Well, listen, are they going to actually eventually outlaw gasoline?
That's what he was just talking about.
I think it's. I don't think. Well, underneath this administration, you probably would see it, but they won't do it for a while. But I think it's inevitable that electric's going to come through because everything's turning that way.
But why do they feel it's going to be better than gas? Well, for emissions, it will, right? Not necessarily for economy.
Well, even there's all kinds of articles. If you own a Prius and you're on the East Coast, when you charge it, what are you using? What do they use for energy? Well, there's more emissions on an electric car in New York than there is, of course, in Colorado where it's natural gas.
Perception. It's perception.
If they went with nuclear power.
I don't even like that. That's some of the cleanest power there is, man.
There is, but they hate it.
I don't know why.
I do, because it takes the money out of their pocket.
Well, that's true.
Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. On the air, more than 40 years. Solving problems. Think about that. You know, one thing I want to talk about is the number one reason kids start out with bad credit. What would you think it is?
I can tell you two different things, I'll guess. This is unfair because it's me.
And I've kept track, and I'll tell you. Go ahead, Mark.
Number one, I'd say, is a bad car deal. Numero uno.
That is the number one reason.
It would have to be.
It's a used car, and I'll explain how, but go ahead.
And then I'd say getting into a deal with a friend or a girlfriend and getting into a lease on an apartment where one of them bails.
Well, that is a good one, co-signing with someone, but it's more, the second is a credit card because they extend credit to kids. The third would be co-signing with someone. The top three bad credit generators for kids. So, how does buying a used car hurt your credit? Well, first of all, when you go to buy a used car, many kids who don't have their parents' blessing, who do it on their own, will buy at a buy here, pay here place. They will hook someone up with a car. And because kids are stupid at around 18, and they have more hormones than brains, they will buy a car at a buy here, pay here place for an extraordinary price and an extraordinary interest rate. They will never get a good deal. So they're going to first overpay for the car, second, overpay for financing. Now, as soon as they drive off that lot, that 18-year-old is upside down, meaning they are underwater, meaning they owe more than the car is worth. But even worse than that, here's the biggest problem. Even worse than that is that the car will not outlast the financing. So, what they thought was going to be a reasonable payment on a used car turns out to be a payment on a car that is dying. So what do they have to do? They have to find another car. And to find another car, they don't have the cash, so they have to trade in a car that's already underwater on another car. And the only one that will do that for them is another buy here, pay here, or unscrupulous dealer. And what they do is finance that negative equity into the next car. That's called the negative equity snowball, meaning that the first car they were upside down, let's say $4,000. Now they go to the new car and they drive off the lot upside down $6,500 because they made another bad deal. And the longer they own it, the more upside down they are. So they could end up, when that car starts failing, with negative equity of $8,000. Now what do? They do it again. And that negative equity snowball buries them. I knew a kid, this is a personal story. This is one car that was so old, and he owed $24,000. There was no way he could pay it off ever because the car would not last, and he was at his last car, could no longer ride the negative equity snowball, therefore had to default. Go ahead.
Well, plus these kids, on top of that negative equity, just from the vehicle itself you talked about, a lot of them will buy all the mop and glow that goes with it, which holds no value whatsoever, but it's still tacked onto the loan.
Talk about what that is, Mark.
Well, you name it. It's a service contract that most likely on a used car is worthless. I mean, literally worthless. We get so many calls from people when they finally do break down and need a transmission. Oh, well, that vehicle was modified. We can't do anything. But they paid $4,000 or $5,000 for that product. On top of that, you know, some of it almost sounds made up. We used to joke about the undercarriage spray. I mean, they still sell stuff like that.
And paint protectant and fabric protectant. Now listen.
Tire protectant.
Now listen, windshield etching for thievery. Why do you care? You're insured. Here's the other thing. When you talk about the contracts, service contracts, what people don't realize on a used car, Normal wear and tear is not covered. Okay? Owner abuse is not covered. And previous conditions are not covered. That's about 98% of what will go wrong with that used car. Okay? So 98% of the problems, not covered. And of the other ones that are covered, there's a deductible. On top of that, there's called a cumulative decreasing coverage. What it means is this. When the total of the repairs add up to the market value of the car, the coverage terminates, which means each year you own the car, the value is going down, but the cost of repairs are going up. You could literally be one repair away from extinguishing that so-called protection contract, which was supposed to go 5 years when only went a year. So that is why you don't buy those. Plus the other things that are useless, like the paint protectant undercarriage, the windshield etching, all of that crap. So these kids end up front-loading that car, passing the negative equity on to the next car and the next car until they reach financial failure. So what is the way out of it without reaching financial failure? First, you should never get into it, okay? That's the very first thing. In fact, you would do your kids more of a service if you bought a brand new car with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and made them keep it for the entire life of the car plus 2 years if you truly want to help them. Then you have something of value. The other thing is you could trade it if you know when to trade it and how to trade it, so you have a continual payment for new cars. That's another way of doing it. Or lease a car if and only if you lease that car for no more than you would buy it for, meaning the acquisition costs match a great buying deal, and when you do it, you live by the terms of the lease. I'm going to tell you something. If you put too many miles on it, if you gunk it up, and if you don't plan to keep it for the term of the lease, leasing is the worst deal you can make in the world. Early termination of a lease is never, ever, ever, ever beneficial to you. Never. Neither is trading a car in on a lease. Ever. So there are the options of never getting into negative equity. The next thing is getting out of negative equity. There is a way. You buy a car, you bite the bullet with the negative equity, and you keep that car for the entire length of the loan and start out in 5 years at zero if you're lucky.
There's one scenario where that does not pay, man, and we've had this call a lot. Someone buys a car, negative equity. Maybe it's the second one they had to roll negative equity in. Someone else hits them or they do it themselves. The car is totaled. They only get
what the car's worth.
$15,000 for the car because that's the value.
Even with GAP insurance, GAP will only cover 125% of value.
That's right, and they owe $30,000 on it because they bought all the crap and they overpaid and rolled negative equity in. Now the loan comes due.
You can't insure for stupidity.
You just killed your credit and you're in a bankruptcy.
Now, Rodney is with JFR Cars. They're auto brokers and auto dealers. They can source cars. They can sell them off the lot. I want to know any other scenarios that you can think of we didn't cover.
Well, Tom, I've actually gotten many people out of an upside-down negative equity scenario.
I want to talk about how. Hold on.
We get it so often. I just got into a wreck and I owe my car's worth $30 because I owe $30,000 on it, but the other insurance company's only going to give me $12.
Right.
If you listen to CNN, you will think that Biden is Abraham Lincoln, and he's done more for this country than anyone in the entire world.
What was you?
Oh, that's Sue's.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Man, that'll get you a website to get you the best representation ever, whether buying or selling. Something else Frank does, and I'll give you out the number. a free market valuation of your home. He values your home
based on the market and what it will sell for, which is usually more than an appraisal. But not all areas sell more than an appraisal. So if you want some accurate information, call Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, for a free market valuation. 303-920-1622. 920-1622. BlakeHarrisLaw.com is where I go and refer people for estate planning. Whether it be a simple plan or a complicated plan, you need to protect yourself maybe from lawsuits and creditors. You want to protect your heirs. You don't trust them. You want to protect them through their whole life. You can do that too with a special trust. Talk to BlakeHarrisLaw.com, and that's at 833-ASK-BLAKE. You can ask him any question you want. He doesn't charge for answers, just flat rates for what he actually does for you. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Hey there, homeowners. Are you experiencing pipe?
You know who makes the largest container ships in the world? Who? Fucking Samsung. What the fuck? I knew Hyundai made big engines and motors for cruise ships, but I didn't know Samsung had their fingers in that.
Mitsubishi's probably in that as well.
Daewoo. They quit making cars, didn't they? Didn't they make cars for a while? Daewoo. Daewoo. I guess that makes sense, because, I mean, how long have cell phones and TVs been around? Not that long compared to other stuff. Samsung didn't pop up a month ago. I wonder how much fuel. I'm just enthralled by these cargo ships. I had no idea they were this large.
I think one of the issues was California was not allowing vehicles older than
whatever it was.
So those truckers couldn't get in there in
Well,
California.
plus they have to be unionized. So in other words, you know, you're coming out of a different state and you're a self-driver or whatever, and you're not part of the Teamsters, they don't want you there.
But what's the point? Getting the stuff out of there, right?
Right now it is. I mean, when everything was running fine, I guess it didn't matter. And it's one of these problems. The supply chain is like, it's a year turnaround. There's nothing like, I mean, I think Biden, if he got with California and they dropped all that kind of stuff, anything negative, anything that can put any kind of red tape on it, if they just got rid of it, they could definitely put a dent in it. But it's still bad. I mean, you can't 150 ships times 24,000 freaking things. And how much can a semi? Isn't a semi basically one or two containers? How do you take 24,000 times 150?
Semi might be a heck of a container.
I don't know. And
Railroad.
distribute it through. That's right, the railroad.
Container's 40 foot, I thought.
Yeah, but a railroad, it takes 40. We already said that. One container ship is a 44-mile choo-choo train. That's why, so Walmart pays for my son's college. They can pick two things. That's it. I mean, it's either business management or supply chain. That's it. Those are the 2 degrees they pay for.
Why do you think they investigate that shooting? To see if somebody did it intentionally?
You know, Talib and I were talking about that, man. How does a gun that's a prop accidentally get loaded with a real bullet somewhere? How does that happen?
They tried to explain it up here, but I didn't see it all and I couldn't get it all, but they were talking about different fake bullets. This one looks like this, that one looks like that, and is it possible that a loaded blank was inserted behind one of them fake bullets?
Oh, so there's a bullet, and then you put a blank that literally shoots the bullet.
Well,
But how does that? It still seems all.
Okay, well, if you're talking about a revolver, man, you know, when you point a revolver at somebody, if I see 6 empty chambers, I'm going to kick your ass.
And these are cowboy guns,
Okay,
so
right,
it is.
All right. So it has to look real.
I got you.
And then he pulls the trigger, and there's a live blank behind whatever's in there.
And the blank.
That doesn't make sense.
It does to me. You got a fake bullet in front of the blank.
Tom
Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. So we're talking about one of the primary reasons kids get bad credit and start out life with bad credit. It's called the negative equity snowball. They buy a car that's a piece of crap. They overpay for it. They overpay for financing. They start paying for it. Then they either want another car or need another car. That negative equity goes into the next car. Now they owe even more on the second car, which is even worse. They go on and on until finally they get to the end. Either it's damaged or it's broken down. It's not worth investing in, and they owe more than it's worth by thousands and thousands of dollars. I know many parents right now say, you're right, that happened to my kid. And they either have to default on a loan and it follows them everywhere they go with bad credit, or they go bankrupt. There are ways out of it. One way is before you get to the negative equity limit, you make them keep that car for the entire length of the loan. And then you just bite the bullet. You fix it and keep the car and make them curb their desire and not be an idiot. But Rodney said there are ways, other ways. Now, what's another way of getting out of it, Rodney, other than buying a car and sticking with it? How do you get them out of it?
You know, those are extreme situations that one of the ways in which you can get out of it, and it's tough to do.
First, I want to ask you something. What percentage of people come to you with negative equity?
Oh, I'm sure it's most cases is I'm sure there's probably 50-50.
Wow. So what do you do? How do you get someone out of it?
What we do is you can take advantage when the market was normal. You could take advantage of the rebates.
Yes.
And then allow them